right, RJ, you ready for our first ever live commentary track here?
Yeah, let's go. I'm excited.
Yeah, already got Four Horsemen and Striatic in chat. Good to see you both. Four Horsemen, let's do this. Game blacked out, so all on you guys, so no pressure on us, I guess, RJ.
Hey, we got you covered.
How is it blacked
Uh,
out if it's an away game?
yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I
I
know it's been super wonky. I know, like, on ESPN Plus, it doesn't matter if it's a home or away game. Like,
exactly.
your
Yeah,
market
15
games are
market.
just
That's it.
always out. Um,
So that might be it.
that's pretty ridiculous in my opinion.
I'll say.
I know a lot of people have been talking about that, trying to get that maybe changed moving forwards. But yeah, no, as far as I know, Stratic, it is en route. I of course clicked on the Tampa broadcast because I've been watching the away team broadcast and it's been working. So
Yep.
even
Stay
though I'm
with it.
watching it on mute right now, I figured I have to stay on that. Are you watching the root broadcast, RJ?
I am watching the Root broadcast, so we've got both angles covered for you. Although I'm not getting anything from the Root broadcast yet, it still has
Yeah, right
the
now on the
ESPN screen.
Yeah, right now on the Lightning one, it looks like they're honoring one of their either TV or radio broadcasters. Just got this beautiful crystal microphone. That looks pretty dope, actually.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. No, I'm not getting any of that on on a broadcast, but hey, good for him.
Yeah. Striatic, being in Canada, I have no access to Root or Espen anyway. Oh, okay. So,
Okay. Well, that makes sense then.
yeah. But RJ, just a little while before, I mean, puck hasn't dropped yet, but just a little while ago, we got the big news that Mark Giordano is not going to be in the lineup tonight.
Yeah, I mean that's huge. And we just found out basically when they came out for warmups, and Hayden Fleury was out there on the ice, and Giordano wasn't. But Kraken PR on it very quickly, and so Gio is in COVID protocol, which you always hate to hear that. But yeah, so he will miss this game. We don't know, could still be like a false positive test. We just don't know. But he's in COVID protocol. Hayden Fleury will be in his spot, paired with Jamie Alexiak. They're keeping the other two D pairs together to start. So yeah, that'll be an interesting development.
Yeah, for sure. Checking in from Norway. Oh my gosh, awesome to have you here, Gunner. That is awesome. And
Awesome.
then
Yep.
and then Striatic asking for predictions. Do you have a prediction for this game, RJ?
Hmm. I think this one might be a little higher scoring than the last couple we've seen. We'll go 4-3 Kraken.
Okay, see, I was thinking the same thing, but then for some reason, 3-1 popped in my head. 3-1 with an empty netter.
All
Um,
right.
and yeah, I
That's a
mean,
little lower scoring, I think.
yeah, and I'm gonna say Kraken with that. I just think they're rolling. Yes, Giordano being out of the lineup maybe hurts some, but Hayden Fleury's played pretty well this year. As long as they don't pair him with Larson, we're probably all okay. Um, and the Lightning, it's not like they don't have their fair share of injuries right now. They got some decent players out of their lineup for sure. So,
Yeah.
was it no Kucherov tonight, no Point tonight, no Chernak? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that's
it's, it's
huge.
a
Those are
lot.
some very good players.
Yeah, so I think the Kraken, look to keep this ball rolling. They can go into Tampa. Um,
Yep. They're playing these tough teams, but every time there's, some element that kind of suggests that maybe the Kraken have more of a chance, and they've seemed to take advantage of it every time. The Caps and Hurricanes coming off these long road stretches where you figure maybe they're a little bit tired, the Lightning missing some of their key players. In every instance there's kind of, there's a reason that maybe they can hang in there.
yeah, and wouldn't it be nice to catch a couple breaks instead of seeing them all go
Yeah,
against
seriously.
us the way they
Exactly.
largely were during that homestand? So,
Yeah.
definitely interested to see the team on the road again. Obviously, the last couple road games, not necessarily something we want to talk too much about. Those were some pretty brutal ones, both that Arizona game and then the one in Vegas back
Mm.
towards the
Yep.
beginning of the month.
Yeah, no, that's true. This is their first game on the road in a while. I mean, they had this long homestand, but I think it can be good for them too. They've seemed to risen to these challenges
Hmm.
with the tough opponents, and I think that'll just continue on the road.
Yeah, for sure. Hunter, COVID protocol in the NHL is so annoying, not as lenient in other, I would assume as in other leagues. Yeah, I mean, I think a large part of that has to do with Canada, and they're more strict about things, and the league wanted to be able to cross the border again this year. And
Yeah,
so
it's
I
tough. A lot of the other leagues, just strictly US, it's kind of
mhm.
easier to have that, looser standard.
Yeah, or it'll be like one team, like we saw with baseball this last season, where Toronto, did they play the whole season in the U.S. or they at least played
It was a lot
part
of
of their
different leagues.
season?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Blue Jays played in the U.S. just to make things easier, because obviously there you only have the one Canadian team. You only got the one Canadian team again, Toronto in the NBA. So
Yeah.
and none in the NFL. So I think that's why they're doing it, Hunter, is just because they want to keep that option open for teams.
Yep. Yep.
I want Yanni Gord to get at least one goal in his revenge game. That's from Striatic. Yeah,
That'd be
obviously,
great to see.
yeah, obviously we saw him talking with coaches and stuff from the other team earlier. Got his ring. Saw that on
Yep, sure
Twitter.
did.
So that was cool
Yep.
to see.
And yeah, I mean, you talk about revenge game, and I think there's some element of playing against his former team. But man, looking at especially like how the fans feel about him, how everyone in Tampa feels about him. He's just so loved there, and I think he loves Tampa right back. He win 2 Stanley Cups, you always kind of remember it fondly. But I think it would be nice for him to kind of impress because they did leave him exposed.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they were gonna have a rough time with that, regardless of.
Yeah, I mean that's maybe one of the easiest ones to not take it personally, given
Mhm.
how stacked that team is. Like, look at some of the guys they had to leave exposed.
Yeah, exactly. So, uh, yeah, so it should be a good one. Stratic, I've read a bunch of tweets complaining about losing Barre Boulet. Do you share any regrets for losing him? Now, you were always a lot higher on him than I necessarily was.
Yeah, I was a fan of Barre Boulet, and I liked what I saw in the 2 games he played for the Kraken. And he's doing well in Tampa now. He's playing up on that top
Mhm.
line. He's got 5 points in 9 games. So yeah, he'd be a nice player to have around. But as we've seen with everyone getting healthy, it's so hard. The Kraken just lost Nate Bastian. Like there
Mhm.
aren't really these spots. You probably have to lose Donato to get Barre Boulet, and that's maybe a lateral move at best.
Yeah, it would be yeah, especially when once Blackwell came back, Appleton being back now, like
Mhm.
I just don't know where he would slot in on things. Um,
Yep.
so it's a little rough. We knew he was skilled, we knew he was talented, um, but it's just the way it goes sometimes. Especially given the nature of Seattle being an expansion team under this rule set, they're a deep team, and that's just the way it is.
Yep.
Haley in chat, go Bolts! Come on, Haley, come
Come
on.
on, what?
Uh, Gunner got some tips there for anybody who's dealing with the blackout. Uh, Happy to see strong health protocols. It's like this in my job too, in elementary school, and same idea. Anything to keep from shutting down fully. Yeah, agreed. That's what it's all about. Especially again in the NHL, revenue's not necessarily as high as the other leagues. Owners probably don't want to deal with another year of teams not playing for prolonged periods of
Yep.
time, empty
And the
arenas, all
way it
that
can
stuff.
spread through a team, you just
Hmm.
you want to be careful. We saw this at the start of the season for the Kraken. It can just make its way through a locker room and be pretty devastating.
Yeah, for sure. Hayden Fleury 2 point game coming up. That's from Michael. I would take it.
Oh
Mike,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. He's been eager to get back in the lineup too. I mean, you can
Oh
tell just
yeah.
watching him practice. He is ready. He is ready to get back in the lineup and show that he belongs. So I am looking forward to seeing how he plays.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see kind of just the Kraken overall in this one because, like, you know, Tampa, they're a good team. Even though they're dealing with some injuries, we talked about that, all those guys out of the lineup. But at the same time, they're a good team. It'll be interesting to see if guys like Fleury, Vince Dunn, if they kind of try to pinch up as much in this game and try to play as offensively as normal, or if they're going to play a little bit more conservatively, a little more reserved, so that they're kind of around to help combat, all the firepower that Tampa has.
Yeah, that is something to consider.
Especially with it's not like Tampa doesn't have plenty of defensemen that can move the puck and score and do all that stuff too. So
Exactly.
it's really one, if you let them get going with an odd man rush, it's like a whole 5-man unit you got to stop. It's not easy.
Yep. No, they're dangerous.
Let's see. Gunner predicting Donkey's gonna score tonight. I'd love to see that.
Love to see him get his first. Yep.
Yep, for sure. New Jersey fans were ecstatic to get Bastion back. Yeah, you could tell that he was, somewhat of a beloved player there for sure.
For sure. For sure. And I'm glad he gets to be back with his buddy Mikey McLeod again. At least
Yeah,
that. they missed each other. You could tell.
For sure. Sergeant Pickles is here, currently pulling up flooring but listening along. Awesome job. Good luck with that. Uh, let's see.
Yeah, not an easy task.
Yeah, already saw Bastion playing with New Jersey this afternoon. I never knew how many devoted fans he had there. Yeah, no, he definitely had a good fan base.
He was
there.
a fan favorite for sure.
Mm-hmm. And then Hunter. Hopefully, the new variant doesn't affect this season. Yeah, I haven't looked too much into all of that stuff, but I mean, hopefully, it doesn't affect the season. It doesn't affect just life in general for all of us.
Yeah. No, I think we're all eager to stop having to worry about the new variants that pop up. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, make sure people are healthy and everything, all that stuff again.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we'll see. It's just one of those things. All right, getting close to game time here, going through the national anthem right now.
Yep, we got the passing the flag around the arena.
Love that.
Yeah, that's a little different. I don't remember that. I mean, like, I've seen it before in sports, but I don't remember. Is that like a lightning thing that they do, or?
I mean, didn't we see that during the playoffs last year?
Actually, yeah. You know what? I think that's where I probably remember it from. Is from the playoffs last year.
Yeah, I thought so. I mean, I'm all for it. I'm all for any way in which fans can engage with the game and all of that stuff. I love all of it. All right, here we go.
So in the goalie preview, we got Grubauer in net.
Mm-hmm. Been playing lights out. He's gonna have to match Vasilevsky on the other side.
Oh yeah.
Like I was looking, kind of looking at stats and everybody trying to, preview the Lightning a little bit before this game, and it's like you don't even need to look. You just know exactly what he's up to.
Exactly. Yep.
He's so good.
See the 9.33 record, 9.24 save percentage,
just
as advertised.
Yep.
For my money, best goalie in the NHL.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's safe to say. Year in, year out, he's just been awesome like that. And there we go with the puck drop. So it'll be interesting to see how, you and I are delayed from each other depending on on our stuff and the chat.
I think you're a half second ahead of me also. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay. Let's see. Let's get in some chats. Kraken can't let this one get away from them. Have to keep playing 60 minutes. That's from Michael. I agree, and I think they're back in that place where they can do that. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, we've seen it from them, last couple games.
Yeah, so at least on my end here, we're watching. It's kind of back and forth already, but we didn't see as much dump and chase in both the Capitals game and the that Hurricanes game from the Kraken. And, I was appreciative for that, not seeing that come back as much. But
I think that was just this one game anomaly where they just, I don't know what they were thinking, but, clearly back to the drawing board after trying that.
Yeah, that was a really nice handoff between Larson and Lauzon, handing off their defensive assignments there.
Mm-hmm.
Larson came back in towards the net, and Lauzon then followed the puck carrier out. That's exactly what you want to see. Couldn't draw it up any better.
Yanni got a haircut. Yes, he did.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the shorter hair now. I think he fought he had a fight the day of the haircut a few games ago, and so you could see it pretty well with his helmet off.
Yeah. So that already my question was a little bit answered. Fleury, going in deep on that last,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
entry
he's
for the
ready.
Kraken.
He's not afraid.
Yeah, no, he's
gonna get involved.
I mean, if that means he wakes up like, what was it, the first Minnesota game? Was the game he scored the 2 goals in? Yeah, I would take that every day of the week.
Yep. Yeah, if he can just keep getting shots on net. It was working so well when he was kind of in that mindset, just shooting every opportunity he got.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm trying to remember back in everything that's happened and all of the countless deep pairings that we've seen from the Kraken so far this year. But I don't, at least it didn't stand out to me, Fleury playing with Alexiak before.
No, I don't remember that one either. And I think it's just easier because he just slots right into Gio's spot, and that's probably why they did it. But yeah, that's a new pairing, so we'll have to see how the chemistry is. I'm not really sure what to think of it at this point. Definitely will want Alexiak to maybe play a little bit more conservatively, a little bit more defensively, than he otherwise would.
Yeah, nice job by Dunn on that turnover. Good look there
I've been
for
impressed with his
Geeky.
calmness. Here we go. 2-on-1 coming.
Hmm.
Oh, good stop by Vasi there on Geeky. Good chance.
Yeah, Striatic bolts really clogging up the neutral zone. That's what they do. I mean, that's been like an
Yeah.
identity for them for a long, long time now, under John Cooper.
And they're so hard to play against when they're really rolling doing that.
They really, really are.
Yep.
Oh, well, that wasn't great.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are a half second ahead
Yeah,
of me.
I know. So I don't want to, I don't want to totally like
Yeah. Okay,
give
so
everything away. But
first impression, Grubauer should have had that. I mean, that's one that didn't look like too high quality of a chance.
no, it's a tough angle. Yeah, the puck just gets pushed past Larson there. They just lose him in transition.
Right. Even then, goalie has to stop
Yeah,
it from where that shot coming.
that's a
And Pierre Edouard Belmar, I mean, he's not a sniper there.
right. No, that is definitely something that's a more favorable angle for the goaltender, I feel like, in that situation.
Yeah, you can come really far out and be aggressive with that one.
Yeah.
It's just not like the threat, the threat of a pass there. Lightning fan wearing gloves and during the game.
I kind of like that, though.
Yeah.
Hockey gloves are surprisingly comfortable. They're good.
They are. No, they are. Anyway, moving back up in chat, because after the goal, we missed a couple of things. Hey, fellas, Aaron, thanks for doing this. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Like, this is going to be a good time. And then Autumn, we're one injury away from Borgen time. Yeah, 1D injury? I believe so.
Yeah. It'd have to be.
Yep. Hope it doesn't happen. You
No.
know, you never want to see Borgen play, that way. But, yeah, it's a possibility.
Yeah. I know, Ethan, what's up, guys? Since I can't watch games live, I usually avoid the results until after watching the highlights. I'll catch up with you guys later. So we'll, see Ethan maybe for the post game after this.
Yep.
Striatic, Kraken repeatedly having difficulty with zone entry. Yeah, I mean, it's been kind of a struggle for the Kraken all season long. And then you combine that with the fact that Tampa's really good again in the neutral zone, defensively in transition, and that's just going to be something that we're going to have to deal with tonight, I think.
Yep, and I mean that's why they have two, Stanley Cups in a row. It's just so hard to beat that.
Yeah, for sure. And then for Aaron, no, Gio isn't playing. Was added to the COVID protocol today, so Hayden Fleury takes his spot in the lineup.
Yep. Yeah, that was some last minute news. We didn't know till warm-ups.
Yeah, so definitely interested to see how that goes tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Hunter pointing out that, one goal on one shot. I think that is the 6th time that's happened to the Kraken this season. Happened. Giving up a goal on the first shot, which is certainly more than you'd like.
Yes.
More than league average, I'd have to imagine. Yeah, you don't want to be doing that. But they have come back from that. As has been pointed out in chat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to have to, but they've shown that they're very resilient in that regard. That was a nice job by Larson and Lauzon on that last play. Both of them working together. One taking the puck, one taking the man. But,
can we speak out the time on the game clock so I can pause to get my lag corrected? 15:01, 15 minutes just now for me.
Yeah, so I'm 5 seconds ahead of you.
Okay, good to know.
Like right on the dot. So no, that's good. So yeah, forecheck has been kind of pretty normal so far for the Kraken tonight. And then defensively,
no, I mean I've seen,
it's also pretty standard. But again, I kind of like that. We know throughout the season, all that stuff's been working for them. On paper, it should be working better than it has been, really. But we really saw it all come together for that Capitals game, and then that other one.
Right, and it might take some time to settle in on this one. It looks like they're a little bit on their heels, especially after giving up that first goal.
Yeah,
you've had the Lightning's kind of bottom six control play a little bit, which you don't want to see. Hey, there's Barry Boulet.
Mm-hmm. Good to see him. Kraken legend.
Kraken there.
All right, Here we go. I like that patience.
Who made that pass up the boards? Is that Tanev? No, that was
No,
Geeky.
yeah, it was Geeky up the boards to Tanev, but I like Tanev's patience to stop once he got into the zone and then wait for the rest of the team to come in and then make a safe pass. We've seen a lot of times in the past, guys, they enter the zone and then they just kind of panic and they'll get rid of it quick or they'll just throw a bad shot on net. But I think anytime you can display patience like that, and then they had a nice screen on Vasilevsky.
And Fleury shooting the puck.
He's just good. Yeah.
Yep. Question from Autumn: does COVID protocol clear a roster spot? Like if this happened a few days ago, Bastion could have stayed. Yes, if this happened a few days ago, Bastion could have stayed.
Yeah.
So that's rough. Also with Yarncroke being injured, I mean you'd have to put him on IR, but like that's another one where potentially Bastion could have stayed.
Yeah.
So bad timing.
Yeah. And I agree with Aaron. Other than the goal against, team's looking good. I think
Yep.
so too. Got 4 shots already.
Start.
Yeah.
They've showed on this broadcast on the Root broadcast, Barre Boulet's height is listed as 5'1". I don't think that is correct.
I don't think that's correct either.
He's listed as 5'1", 180.
That is, I mean, that could work as a hockey body.
Oh yeah,
Nice low.
That's solid.
Nice low center of gravity.
Yep. There's a couple guys on my men's league team that have a similar build to that.
Yeah. Kraken doing a good job trying to establish things in the zone. I like the passing is not erratic or panicky. We've seen in the past from them, right? Like as things go bad, they'll just start rushing or pressing, trying to do too much. But so far tonight, they seem to have stayed pretty calm despite that early goal.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a default creative player. That is something you'd see in something like that.
Yeah, 5'1", 180.
So now the Lightning with their kind of cycle going around through the zone, but I like the Kraken. Well, up until there, D gets a little lost there, right in front of the net. But otherwise, I liked the forwards, Tanev and the group, doing a good job of staying in their lanes but still applying pressure.
Yep, and that's that bend but not break defense that we saw so much against Carolina.
Right. And the Lightning weren't ever able to get a nice clean shot off, so that was a good job. Yeah, this is the D pairing that I'm most curious to watch tonight. The Susie Dunn, just because
I was very impressed by them in the last game against Carolina.
I was too, but then I think it was the Washington game. I thought they played pretty poorly together, so that's why I'm kind of curious to see.
Yeah, we got one of each right now. All right,
exactly.
Who are they really?
Yeah. From Autumn, do teams ever put guys on IR with phantom injuries to stash them? I mean, interesting question.
In a game against the Lightning.
I was just gonna say, interesting question to ask in a game against the Lightning. For the most part, I mean that would be against league rules, and there would be some form of punishment. But
were you found to do that?
At the same time, and not saying anything, but only a player knows when they're fully healthy, right? Like you can't say a player is healthy. You're not in their body. So if a player is saying that they're not healthy yet, and that maybe helps out the team roster wise, it's possible that has happened from time to time.
Fleury doing a good job sticking with Kaloran there.
Alexiak keeping the physical play, but both of them left the net. In that situation,
there it is. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. See, so, if Alexiak's going to play physical and stuff like that behind the net, I'm totally fine with that. Granted, you already had another Kraken back there, but then Fleury needs to know it's not his responsibility to then go chasing the puck into the corner like that. You need to make sure that you're there in front.
Yep. And these, it's the kind of thing you get when you have a D pair that hasn't really played together before.
And especially one in which Fleury is a pretty aggressive guy, offensively and defensively, and Alexiak can be himself too. So that is definitely something to watch as the rest of the game goes on.
Yep. Stratic pointing out an issue of asset management. Kraken slowly losing assets like Chalowski and Bastion will add up over time if it continues. And that has been something that's kind of been called into question recently, is the asset management. Oh, Great saves by Grubauer there.
Yeah, shouldn't have had to make them, but they were
Yep.
there.
But yeah, I'm not too worried. Like Cholowski, like they had so many defensemen. I'm not worried about losing him, the way that they did. Bastion is one where the way to avoid that, I guess, is by making a defense trade, by moving whether it's,
Right.
Borgen or Susie or someone. That's really the only way to avoid it when everyone's healthy. And if you're not getting a good offer there, then, it's tough, but it's just something you kind of have to do.
Yeah. Nice little video here celebrating Yanni Gord's time in Tampa. Like to see that.
Oh, there you go.
Um,
I'm getting a Progressive commercial.
oh, okay. Well, on the Lightning broadcast, we're seeing this, and they've got a little cam of Gord watching it, so you can see his reactions. It's
Oh,
really
that's nice.
But yes, as far as the other stuff goes, I mean, I haven't exactly looked at every team's active roster right now, but I can't imagine a lot of them are carrying as many defensemen as the Kraken are. It's at least, you know, hasn't always been traditional to carry what 8 defensemen. So
No.
yeah, so ideally you would have wanted to see a move done by now. I also get though if Francis wants to wait until closer to the trade deadline where maybe a team is a little more desperate and you can get a better piece coming back. That might be worth losing out on someone like Cholowski, especially after Riker Evans looked pretty good in the preseason. So that I think helps make that loss a little better. And then, if it leads to a better return for someone like Fleury or Borgen later on, I could see that all being okay.
Yep.
Let's see. Michael Grubauer going to need to continue his hot streak if Kraken are going to have a chance tonight. Yeah, I mean, you just need a goalie at all times to be good and try to be hot. But it's certainly been the difference maker for them the last 2 games. Okay, no, we can't play everyone we drafted, but we need picks. Even mid to late rounders are still useful. That's from Stratic, especially for this new team. Yeah, you're building out your prospect pool. You've only got 1 drafts class worth of prospects. Anytime you can, acquire more picks, even if they're mid to late rounders, I think that's still something you have to be looking at.
For sure.
Why can't they just skate the puck out? Always these board passes. Yeah, I know, Gunnar. That's it's tough against a team like Tampa.
Especially when they've got you pinned in the zone for a while. Usually, like you're just searching for any way out after a little while.
Right, and then it seems like they haven't been able to establish anything in the offensive zone because they're spending so much time in the D zone that then everybody's on a line change. So one person will go in and he's got kind of no one there to help him and no one there to help set up stuff. So it's one of those things. Just spending a little extra time in your own zone, it has this trickle down effect, kind of through the rest of everything.
Yep. But I don't know. Are you Dylan? Like, do you think? Because I mean, the start was solid. We're starting to see him give up a little bit more as far as Oddman rushes the other way. Like, how concerned are you now? With like, do you think the play's going a little bit more Tampa's way, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think that stoppage is probably going to help them. If kind of through the rest of this period it stays that way, I'll get a little more concerned. But I think it's normal. Okay, Tampa was building a little momentum, but then you get that TV timeout, kind of readjust, give Alexiak and Fleury time to talk to each other about like that one situation that happened not that long ago, right? Let the forwards talk to each other about what they want to be doing entering the zone against this, pretty aggressive Tampa Bay Lightning team. So
yep.
I think things should settle down a little bit now after that.
Yep.
Let's see here. Tampa just looks better than us. I mean, they're back-to-back Stuck Cup champions, so.
Yeah, I mean, they're a good team.
Why do we throw it in the zone as we're doing a line change? Yeah, I mean, it's just so that you buy the time to do the line change and you don't have to worry about an odd man rush going back the other way. Ideally, you'd want someone to skate in there and try to keep possession long enough for the line change to come on and then maybe establish something in the offensive zone. But if it's the difference of potentially turning over the puck with the other team in transition versus just dumping it in behind their net, you take that dump in.
Yep.
Good
exactly.
save by Grubauer.
Yep. Yeah, aside from that one, he's been solid.
Mm-hmm. Interested to see how Appleton does tonight. Obviously we talked in the last post game. It's always hard coming off the injury just from a conditioning standpoint, as well as
Right.
maybe you're still dealing with the after effects of it.
Yeah, and it looks like he's been, still not 100% maybe play wise of what he can do.
Yeah. What do you think of this Larson with Vince Dunn pairing that's been out here for a little while now?
Um, Interesting. I mean, I
Do you?
like Dunn Larson certainly on paper, and I like it how much we've seen it in when we've seen it in the season, because it kind of has a little bit of everything. Dunn providing the offensive upside, and Larson as solid as he is defensively. They've
Mhm.
kind of been hemmed in their own zone right now. But Dunn has done a good job staying with his man in front of the net, which is one thing I noticed on this shift, which he's been better at the kind of last couple games.
Yeah, both of them
What
did
do
a
you
really
think?
good. Both of them did a really good job there. I worry a little bit about it just because I feel like they're two of your stronger offensive pieces.
That's true. It
Um,
leaves other pairs maybe a little weaker.
yeah, and Vince Dunn has had some questionable calls, at least in the offensive zone as far as pinching up at times where maybe he
Hmm.
shouldn't. And if he's going to be playing with Larson, does that mean that's now the top pairing? So he's going to be seeing a lot more minutes in this game.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, it would have to mean that unless you're going with, because what was it? It was Larson Lozon.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Larson kind of double shifts there sometimes.
Yeah, but interesting to see Hackstall make that change already in this
Hmm.
game.
Yep.
But would definitely love to see them establish something in the offensive zone here. Just a little bit of a cycle, just something. Get
Yep.
you know put a little bit of pressure on Vasilevsky.
Yep. Um,
But here we go. I mean, delayed call. It looks like, or
oh,
was that
cool.
just
All
the
right, you want to know the penalty?
offsides?
Or no, I don't
No,
know.
that was just the linesman. All right.
Okay. All right. Stratic, I had a dream last night where I met Brandon Tanev on a plane and was tasked with taking a photo of him, his wife, and their three kids sitting in the seats with Christmas sweaters and hats on. The plane was full of people, and we were all in economy, so it was tough to get them all on frame and looking at the camera at the same time. I bet a Tanev family photo like that would be a little chaotic, especially on an airplane.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, that's a fun dream. Autumn, are our prospects protected too? Could they
I
have
think there was
drafted
a
a
little
young
discussion
AHL
about.
guy from the Devils, or are prospects protected too? Go ahead, RJ.
Yeah, so recent draft picks are protected, but there are some waiver exempt guys that they could have taken from teams. And they did take some, like Cale Fleury is an
Mm-hmm.
example of that. Joey Decord is an example of that, guys that they took. So I think there probably were some guys on the Devils that would be waivers exempt. I don't know that they're necessarily a better bet than Bastion.
Right.
I don't remember the list off the top of my head, but yeah, it's something that they could have looked at, and something that you have to consider also when
Mm-hmm.
doing an expansion draft is like, which of these guys are you going to lose to waivers?
Yeah. And then Aaron, they haven't had a shot in a while. That is true. Been sitting on this four shots on goal total for a little while now for the Kraken. Um, it's just a product of the Lightning being in the Kraken zone so much. A little bit of a rough thing there.
Yep.
Got a penalty on someone maybe, or just a stoppage. Hard without the commentary to help us out
Yep.
there.
I've got it very lightly on my headphones. I can hear
Hmm.
just, but all I heard was the Kraken trail 1-0 early. So
Yeah. Tampa is just better than us, but we could still win with a good performance from Grubauer and beating Vasilevsky a few times. Yeah, if Grubauer turns it on like he has the last couple games, Kraken have a shot to win any game against anybody,
for sure.
particularly tonight. Trickle down zonenomics, I like that, Autumn. Yeah. And then Stratic finishing up some more with the dream. Brandon himself was great, though, and just kept staring forward with his ghost eyes. Very easy photo subject.
Sure.
Like that one.
Oh man. Played with high
High
stick. That was
stick,
the
yeah.
stoppage.
That
Yep.
makes sense.
Thank you, Michael.
Tampa breaks out of their zone so easily. Yeah, they do. I mean, they have a clear system for that, but it also feels like a lot of the time, I mean, I don't know. Kraken have kind of struggled with that stuff in general. You know what I mean? Quick transitions back the other way. We saw that throughout that losing streak. I mean, it's just something. I don't know if it's that the forwards are too all in on the forecheck in some of those situations. They're not in positions to get back easy. They don't have any momentum that they can carry with them, or if it's just I don't know. I guess if I had to guess before you chime in here, RJ, it would be because of their kind of weird triangle offense type thing, where then maybe the center is pulled a little more away from the slot and in a little less of a position to help out be in an early transition passing lane.
Yeah, I mean that's a good observation. Yeah, I think when it comes to breaking out of your own zone, it's about how many kind of outlet options you can give to your defensemen down low, where they have kind of easy, effortless passes where they know where the guys are going to be, and that can kind of be a big factor in making sure you have the guys where the defenseman knows they're going to be.
Mm-hmm. And I think once the musical chairs of the defensive pairing slows down, everything will
Yeah,
get
that
better
helps a
too.
lot too. It's also knowing where your D partner is supposed to be.
Yeah. So hopefully they can establish something here that would be really, really nice. Good shot from Appleton. Nice rebound pickup. A little bit of a cycle. Got some good shots on.
Yeah,
I
I
like that
like Lazon
possession.
not taking too much time, dusting off that puck, just putting it on net.
Yep.
If he waits a little bit longer, that gets blocked.
Yeah. And the one thing I will say about Lazon, as we've seen him try to shoot more these last couple of games, his shot isn't bad, and he gets good height on it. Like we just saw
Yeah, he
that
does.
there. I mean, Vasilevsky caught that up here, just off a little snapshot there. So.
Yep.
And then we get the offensive zone face-off. Vasilevsky with the Tanev eyes there.
Oh yeah, no,
Least
Vasilevsky's got Tanev eyes of his own for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes more sense as a goalie.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be focusing on the puck like that.
Good job.
Grubauer just has his sunglasses as shades. Sorry, good job.
Yeah, good job by Fleury in front of the net there, battling with I think it's Killorn.
Mm-hmm.
Did a really solid job. He was keeping Killorn from obviously being able to do anything if the puck was shot towards Grubauer, but also keeping him out of Grubauer's line of sight.
Yep. And now Fleury tied up behind the net with someone behind the play.
Yeah. But see, then again, this is the problem. Kraken get it. They can't fully commit to the transition into the offensive zone because they need the line change.
Exactly. Yeah, they have to peel off, giving the Lightning the free breakout,
mm-hmm.
and there they go.
Definitely interested to see how this McCann line does tonight, because I'd like to see maybe a little bit more from them 5-on-5. At least McCann himself.
And didn't we talk about moving Geeky to wing potentially?
Yeah, we did.
I think it was in the podcast or somewhere in post game as a way to get him kind of going again. And I think this is a good opportunity to do it. I mean, having him on McCann's wing, things will be created on this line.
Yeah,
it should give him an opportunity to step up.
Yeah, Stratic. They're human though. They did give up that 2v1 we didn't cash in on. Winning this game is all about maximizing those small errors. Yeah, anytime you're playing maybe a little above your weight class, so to speak, you gotta make sure that all the breaks, or at least the majority of them, line up in your favor.
Yep, well said. You've got to capitalize on your opportunities against good teams like this.
Mm-hmm. Good save by Grubauer through traffic there. Eberle looking off. Yeah, Eberle, I mean, quiet game so far from him. Haven't really, noticed him that much.
Yep, and he's been making his presence felt for sure in the last several games for the Kraken. I mean, he's been, on a scoring tear, so we're certainly used to seeing him quite a bit, noticing him on a lot of plays. But yeah, he's been pretty quiet tonight.
Yeah, I will say he is a player that obviously makes things happen when he has the puck, but he's also better at, kind of reading and reacting to what his team is doing in the offensive zone. He's really good at, seeing rebounds before they happen, stuff like that. So with them not really establishing much in the offensive zone, certainly not while his line's been on the ice so far tonight, I think that's, contributing. You're not going to see him totally doing a bunch in his own zone. It's just not the player he is.
Yeah, Eberle's definitely a streaky guy for sure.
Yeah. Rough start from Autumn. I mean, at times, obviously the goal was not great to be giving up, but I also feel like, the Kraken haven't looked, certainly not as bad as we've seen them look.
Right. I mean, I think they've played overall pretty solidly where, they haven't given up a whole lot of, high danger chances. And just Grubauer needs to have that one. But I think if he just stops, that makes that routine save, and at 0-0, we're kind of looking at it a little bit differently right now.
Yeah, I think it would just be more of a little bit more of a back and forth type game. Definitely looking a little bit more like the Carolina game than the Capitals game.
Yep.
But I think
Yep.
that could to be expected. Michael reminds me of Edmonton game, but with better goaltending. Tampa and Edmonton play at a different speed. They do. Anytime you got that many guys that are that skilled, um, it allows you to pick up the pace, and a lot of teams can't hang with that. At least not for a full 60 minutes. Certainly
Yep.
not through early round playoff series, right? It's
Yeah.
a tough thing to deal with unless you've got a really good defensive system, so you can really bog them down and slow them down through the neutral zone and entering your zone. But that can also bite you because that generally requires you to be pretty aggressive defending your own blue line, and if
Yep.
that
And then
goes
they can beat
sideways,
you
that's a problem.
behind you.
hmm
Yep.
But
Question here is Lausanne looking better? So far he is, but that's been the case so many games where you think early, okay, yeah, he's looking better. He's kind of stopped these mistakes, and then the big mistake will happen. So you got to give it time. Basically, I want to see a full 60 minutes without one of those big mistakes before I really call it.
I was gonna say we've been seeing a lot of 59 minutes and 50-second performances from him, but those
Yeah,
10 seconds
exactly.
can often be a goal or two, and that's
Yep.
just something that's a little rough. Yeah, Kraken definitely playing it a little safe. Larson, played pretty far back there,
hmm
making sure he was. I mean, he was behind center ice as they still had four guys in the offensive zone. But
Who's there battling in front of the net?
it's both Fleury and Alexiak. They've both been there that whole
Okay.
time. Lightning just had a bunch of
Yeah.
guys, and then Grubauer's been doing a great job at seeing these shots through traffic. It's clear that that's what Tampa Bay wants to do right now. Is they want to take those shots from the point. They want that traffic in front of Grubauer, but he's doing an excellent job tracking the puck through this.
Yes, and it's not easy, especially dealing with the
hmm
guys that Tampa has in front of the net. Look at that. That's Corey Perry and Pat Maroon in front of the net.
Yeah,
You'd be hard pressed to pick two better guys for that role, for that situation, to try and bang in a loose puck, and Grubauer's dealing with it.
right. And a lot of it too is Fleury and Alexiak. You look there; they were doing just enough to keep those guys out of his line of sight, give him
Yep.
maximum field of view. And then the other thing is he's not letting up rebounds. I mean, the rebounds
Yes,
are there,
and that's big.
but it's very controlled, and he's making sure he's 100% in front of it. That is
Yep.
huge.
Yep. And I've been impressed by Fleury defensively in this game. And
Me
I mean,
too.
hasn't really been an area of strength for him this season. It's been when he's brought on offense, but I don't know, it seems like maybe with that time off, he's really, worked on that side of his game for when he comes back in the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what the coaching staff was saying, is the
Yep.
reason you're not in the lineup, then you would want all players to be like that. But
Yep.
certainly when they do display it as a coaching staff, you do have to acknowledge that and reward it
Yep.
as best you can.
And the last practice that I was at the Iceplex, before they left, Fleury was the last one out on the ice by about maybe 15 or 20 minutes after the last guy before him had left. I mean, he was just putting in work and work and work. So I mean, it's just good to see him get back in the lineup and do well with it.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a dangerous rebound.
Yeah, they're playing with fire here now, and some of
hmm
the chances being allowed.
Yeah. Let's see. It's crazy how well-rounded Tampa is. Easy to forget given how great their goal scoring and goaltending is, but their D structure is so good. Yeah, it can't be, under or overstated how good their D core is, both offensively and defensively. They do a lot. They play aggressive defensively, defending the transition, and they pull it off. And then they are aggressive themselves, pushing up the ice. They just kind of create this wall wherever they go, and it's all three pairings.
Yep, and it's telling that a team like Tampa, as skilled as they are at every position, chose to to protect four defensemen in the expansion draft, and go with that 4-4 setup, even as good, an exposed guy like Yanni Gord.
Right. Yeah, no, they knew that, that is a big part about why they won those back-to-back cups. Yes, the scoring helps. You need that. But you can also go out and find guys like Corey Perry. in free agency if you need it, right? A depth
Yep.
forward who can add some scoring. He's been kind of snake bitten. I was looking at some of his advanced stats. His expected goals rate is actually very, very high. He's been playing very, very well. He's just been pretty unlucky so far. But you can find guys like that in free agency. It's a lot harder to find, a Chernak or a Ruda or somebody like that.
Yep.
Certainly not at an affordable price.
Yeah.
Autumn, if we had a fire sale, who are our most valuable assets, counting contract, skill, and age? I would say, one of Susi, Fleury, or Borgen, but Borgen, they're probably hurting his value by not showing him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's kind of if they were to sell off some of. I mean, it depends how much of a fire sale you're talking here. Most valuable assets on the team. You're looking at like a Yanni Gord or whatever, but you don't want to get rid of those guys. But yeah, and Giordano I think is still very valuable and well thought of around the league.
Yeah, as a rental for a cup contender, I think that would be fine. Jordan Eberle, if things don't really start working out, maybe not so much this year, but next year. Again, he's a proven goal scorer. Teams are always looking for those come deadline time.
Yep.
Eberle only 2 shots in the last 2 games. That's from Autumn. Yeah, it's been a little bit of a, I don't want to say a slump yet for him. But like I said, the opportunities just aren't there. Sometimes for those more opportunistic guys, it's, you go through these up and down stretches just because if the chance isn't there, the chance isn't there. That's what I like about McCann is he really tries to make his own chances rather than kind of take what the team's giving him. I think that's why I agree with Gunnar. McCann is a keeper, kind of regardless of anything. I definitely put him in like the top 2 or 3 guys that they should definitely not move.
Yeah, no, I agreed.
Is dump and chase?
Get my end of the period tweet out here.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Is dump and chase when they have the puck and instead of skating into the offensive zone, they launch it and try and track it down and fight for it? Yes, that is exactly what dump and chase is. So it's rough because you're giving up possession of the puck, right? You're just sending it in and making it, in some instances a 50-50 battle for possession rather than just carrying it in. But it makes sense in certain situations, such as if you spend a lot of time in your own zone, you're trying to get a line change, go ahead, dump it in, come back, make sure you get the line change before the other team can, collect the puck and start a breakout. Glad to see Grubauer's early blunder hasn't affected the rest of his game. He's still hot. Yes, he's still playing really well, and the team is playing really well. Like I was saying earlier, passing still looks good. That's been a big thing for me watching this. That's why I'm not too panicked, even during that rough stretch where they weren't getting any shots and the ice was definitely tilted. It's because we've seen when the Kraken get a little panicked and when something gets in their heads a little bit, they do rush things and they're not, they get a little sloppy at times, and we haven't totally seen that from them. I think that TV timeout helped a lot. This is a good first period so far. Just keep hanging around. Don't let the game get out of hand from Striatic. I agree. At some point, you're going to need the equalizer, but so far, I mean, that was a solid way, I think, to finish off that period. It got back to just being that back and forth that we saw earlier on. Mm-hmm. Please, Alexiak, beat Perry. I don't think you'd be alone with that sentiment there.
Yeah, no, I think there are plenty of people who would support that.
Mm-hmm. How long would it say it takes to turn this Kraken roster into a Stanley Cup contender? That's a big question, Hunter.
Yeah.
For now, I'll just say, just a couple more pieces, maybe another goal scorer or 2, and then it's, you're in that window where it wouldn't be surprising to see a team like this go on a run if the goaltending gets hot.
Exactly. Just got to get in, and then anything can happen.
Yeah. Close one from Schwartzy. Considering the start and the opponent, that's a decent period. Yeah, I'd take that period. Not too much wrong with it.
Overall, on the road, given who their opponent is, yeah.
This is Alex. Greetings from your unofficial road correspondent. Solid defensive period for the Kraken. Felt like both teams feeling each other out a bit. Plus, the lengthy pregame ceremony might have contributed. I was thinking that as we were kind of sitting through that. It is hard to, you go through pregame warmups, you go back in, you get pumped to come out for the game, and then you sit on the bench for another,
Yeah, I know the players don't like that.
15 or so minutes. Yeah, and especially when you're in another building and they're celebrating all these people that you have no attachment to. It's one thing if you're the Lightning, right? You're celebrating all these people that you deal with day in, day out. It kind of keeps you a little more engaged. You're not as in your head as the Kraken would be in a situation like that, where you're just, watching the clock. It's like back being in school or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to tighten up the chances against. Yeah, although they've been doing okay. They've been handling the net front battles pretty good. They're keeping shots to the perimeter and letting Grubauer see them, and so that's all been pretty good.
Yeah,
Kraken doing
nothing too dangerous.
yeah, yeah. As Alex is saying here, Kraken doing a good job of limiting second chances and tying up sticks for sure.
Exactly.
Autumn, do the top teams dump and chase a lot? Seems like good teams do controlled zone entries. Yeah, I mean, it's a team by team thing.
Right, and sometimes you have the personnel to do a lot of controlled zone entries, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of faster, smaller, skilled guys. Other teams, they've got size and they want to use it, and they'll dump the puck in and they'll use their big forecheckers to go get it, and you can certainly win that way if you have the right personnel for it.
Yeah, especially come playoff time where you're playing the same team
Yes.
over and over. It wears down an opponent over the course of a playoff series. If you go back and look at both, the LA Kings Cup runs, I mean, that was their MO. Like, we're going to dump and chase and we're just going to punish you. And it
Yep.
worked. That and, a red hot Jonathan Quick.
Yep. As a defenseman, when you're just taking hit after hit after hit, coming into the zone, like, in your own zone, like by the time you get to game 5, 6, 7, I mean, it takes a toll for sure.
Right, and it, it's not only a toll physically, but it gets to you mentally. You start trying to maybe rush moving that puck because you don't want to take that hit, or you're
feel the
afraid.
hit coming.
Yeah, you feel that hit coming, and all of a sudden, maybe you turn the puck over in your own zone, for with a good chance for the opponent. So there are some benefits to it if you have the right personnel, but it's probably better saved for playoff time. Schwartz has a good slap shot. Yeah, he does. Is the Lightning goalie the biggest in the NHL? I mean, he does look huge in those pads, RJ.
Yeah, I just based on like eye test kind of looks, I think he's for my money he's the biggest in the NHL. I think there's a couple guys taller, although Ben Bishop hasn't played in a while. But yeah, certainly one of the biggest.
Yeah, it's a lot of goalie to be looking at. That's for sure. Let's see. I'm looking forward to the second. They had a great second period comeback on Wednesday. Yeah, I think just the fact that we're seeing this team start strong, like it had been so long since we had seen that. I'm just so appreciative of that.
Yes.
Because it feels like the rest of their game has stayed, it's just they really focused. They knew that they had to start games off better, right? We heard that game after game during that losing streak. We got to come out. We got to be better out of the gate. Can't look, so slow and trying to figure things out. And since they've figured that out, we know that they play well in the second period with the long change, and we know that they can, for the most part, close things out in the third.
Yep.
Lauzon looks surprisingly good that period. Yes, he has.
Yeah, again, he's put in the 20 minutes, just needs to get the other 40 without the mistakes.
Exactly. Cameron just joined. Do we look a little tired? Maybe second period will look better. Seemed a little bit slow. Part of that's just Tampa's really, fast. Like that's just part of their game. But I thought the Kraken did a good job at the beginning. The first 5 to 7 minutes, and then at the end there, those last probably 5 minutes, I thought the Kraken were doing a good job of matching pace with them.
Yeah, I agree.
All teams dump and chase at least a little. You kind of have to sometimes, and it actually buys space for when you do controlled entries later. That is true, Striatic.
Yep.
We need scoring.
Yeah, the defense has to respect it. They're going to step up too much or hang back too much if you do too much of one or another.
Right. We need scoring from all 4 lines before being a contender. Yeah, I feel like this is a team that could have that. We haven't necessarily
have that.
Yeah, we haven't necessarily seen it all come together. I feel like their depth of scoring isn't as big a problem as it is their top end scoring.
Yep, I think that is the thing that's missing more than the depth.
Mm-hmm. Marissa tweeted that the record for goals on the first shot in the season was 11 by the Oilers in 2017-2018. Where the Kraken at?
Could beat that.
They could definitely beat
6.
that. Well, then they're definitely on pace for that.
Huh.
They'd be on pace for like...
I would have thought the record would be higher, but yeah.
I mean,
okay, so Kraken are on pace for that.
Yeah, Kraken are at 5. That's from Aaron.
Oh, it's 5? Okay.
Yeah, it's
5.
At 5. That being said, they're still on pace to smash that. You're talking, we're about a quarter of the way through the season, so you're talking 20 to 21.
Good
That
job
would
by
be a
Marissa
lot.
pulling that one up.
Yeah. Building your identity around dump and chase, I think, is just a bad idea most of the time. Yeah, it is. It is. Again, unless it's
Yeah.
playoff time and you've got that personnel and you know you've got a goalie you can count on for the times it's going to lead to odd man rushes and stuff, it can work. But that's a lot of variables you need going in your favor that
Yep.
most teams do not have. It'll be interesting to see if the Kraken are sellers at the deadline or they just hold their assets. That's from Hunter. Yeah, I mean, we still got a decent amount of time before all that gets here. I think, they'll have a much better feeling as to whether or not the playoffs are a reasonable expectation at that point or not. And that's going to be what they go with. Agree about Lauzon. He's been much better the last 2 games. He has like the upward trend. I mean, he's becoming more of what we thought we were going to get from Boston. He wasn't bad in
Yep.
Boston last year.
No, and he was playing some pretty heavy ice time with some good players too. So, he showed he could kind of be in that bigger role. Just
Yeah.
needs to show it here.
Yeah. Let's see. That's not company you want to be in. About
Yeah, the 17-18 Oilers.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Yeah. And then from Michael, need more offensive zone controlled entries. You aren't going to win puck battles against the huge and fast Tampa D. I agree with that. Dump and chase, probably not a smart game plan against this particular team. But again, when you're playing so much time in your own zone, you need the safety of that to make sure you're getting those line changes off without, a too many men penalty or any confusion with anything, or just without letting, odd man rushes go past you. Believe Marissa tweeted she wasn't sure what the record was, just offered the Oilers as point of comparison, but not a record to be aiming for either way. That is for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the record, but the Oilers allowed the first goal. Yeah, 11 times. Okay. So, yeah, I would think the record would be higher than that.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I mean, it's a lot. You're talking about an eighth of your games in that situation.
She also points out Kraken are 1-9-0 when trailing after the first period, but the one win was their last game.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking too. That is a big thing, and I think they look fine. I'm not too worried. Again, we're playing the back-to-back Cup champions. Like, we knew this wasn't going to be an easy game.
No, yeah, you're not just going to walk in there and take the win like nothing.
That's why we were so worried about this stretch. We wanted them to break out of that losing streak before we got here, and they did.
Yep.
Is there any particular reason for Grubauer letting in the first shot? I don't remember that being a thing for him in Colorado.
I'm not aware of any previous pattern. I mean, one of the things early this season it felt like was, that might have played a part is that first shot of the game was often coming 4 or 5 minutes into the game where he didn't really have a chance to kind of warm up and get ready. And I was just checking what the time of the goal was this game. It was 2:52, so about 3 minutes in, which, the longer you go before facing that first shot, the tougher it is.
And then especially when so many of them are coming off of breakaways or odd man rushes.
Yep. So that was another thing. Yeah, and this one, there was some movement to it. They were coming into the zone. He needs to have it, but it can be, I guess, a little challenging.
Yeah, and then part of that is also just small sample size right now. It looks huge, right? Five times the Kraken have done that in 20 games. That's a big, that's not great. But at the same time, it could easily end up at like 10 through 82, and all of a sudden it's not a problem.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen how it's been with the power play. The way that these numbers can kind of regress to the mean.
Yeah, oh boy, does it feel nice not to be in the total basement there anymore, huh?
Oh yeah.
The shot was just a good shot. It was a good shot, but still, maybe would like Grubauer to have that. Marissa hates the Oilers because she's a Bruins fan, and they probably broke her or one of her family members' heart in the finals once or twice. That's from Striatic. Certainly a possibility.
She was saying the other day just that she likes Edmonton. As a city to visit and everything for road trip, she likes Edmonton. So I'll at least throw that out there.
Yeah. I mean, if you can handle the cold, at least on TV, it looks pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the arena is nice, I hear.
Yeah. I haven't seen a lot of defensive line changes. Could that be a fix for dump and chase? Take the puck behind the net sometimes and set up a play in the neutral zone. Yeah, I think they're a little concerned about doing that just against Tampa, just given how skilled they are. Um,
Yeah, if you don't execute it right one way, they can make you pay for it for sure.
yeah, and again, also maybe they're a little less into doing that with Giordano out.
Hmm.
He's one of
Yeah,
those
that's true.
guys that's really good at kind of leading a rush himself, stepping up and doing that. So
Exactly. Yeah, he'll do that a lot.
I think Fleury is capable of it, but I don't know that necessarily the coaching
They
staff
want
wants to
that.
hand
Yeah.
him the keys to that right out of the
Yep.
after being a scratch the last couple games. But yes, so I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and take a little bit of a break, just for the little bit of this intermission. That's kind of what our plan is
Hmm.
through these as we do these. Of course, this is going to be um, once, preferably twice a month for our top tier Patreon subscribers. This is what we'll be doing, where we'll kind of live stream and do commentary. And the plan will kind of be like when we'll catch up on chat and that kind of stuff in the intermissions, and then we'll take a little break during the intermissions just so we can do anything we need to do, and then come back for the start of the next period. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now, and then we'll be back with you guys in just a couple minutes.
Yep.
Okay, RJ, we're back for the second period here. Looks like, yep, there's the
Yes.
face off.
Let's go.
Good timing. Thanks so much, Gunnar, for the kind words there. Sergeant Pickles, I fully expected now reloading RJ and Dylan coming back from the break. Yeah, this
I
is
will say we are having some graphics worked on for
mhm.
when these go live as the Patreon exclusive.
Yeah, as much as this is a preview for all of you guys, so you guys can make the decision on whether or not you want to join, maybe that tier of the Patreon. It is also, oh,
Oh
sorry,
no, what am I
yeah,
about to see?
yeah, not nothing
Oh, I
good.
am more than a full 5 seconds behind. How far behind am I?
I don't know. See if you can
Okay, there it
catch up
is.
there. Anyway,
Ross Colton on the rebound.
just to finish the thought, this is also just like a warm up for RJ and me, just so we can kind of see how all this goes. We've never really done anything like this before, but yeah, Lazon did a good
Let's
job.
break that one down. Yeah.
Yeah, Lazon did a good job on. Looks like, is that Radish?
Yeah,
Uh,
I think that's Taylor Radish. I mean,
yeah,
he was like hugging him. I mean, he really took him out.
yeah, he took him out of the play, and he was the closest person there. Larson was off on the side there, and then no forward help. There was
Yep.
nobody back from the forward group to help pick up Ross Colton there, and so that's how that happens. And whenever you get a shot, that position right there in the slot where you can just pick your spot, you look for where the goalie isn't, and
Yep. I think that was Gord's guy looking back at the replay
mhm,
now.
I agree with that. I mean, generally,
Yeah.
the center's responsibility is kind of in the slot there, so
Yep.
that would make sense. Definitely not the way you want to start the period, right? 31 seconds in. Oof. But we've seen
Yeah, I'm
them
just getting
bounce.
the tweet out.
Yeah, no, it's fine. We've seen them bounce back, but that one's gonna be rough. Definitely, the next minute or two is gonna be big for the Kraken. Try to establish some pressure, get a couple chances on Vasilevsky, even if they're not super high quality, just to get your momentum back a little. This is not preferable. Okay, good, really solid job by Alexiak there, using his long reach, using his long
Yep.
stick. Fleury back at it, clearing out the front of the net. He's done that so well tonight. Been really
Yeah. That.
impressed with that.
Oh yeah, that's been a big positive tonight. Is Fleury's play defensively.
Yeah,
I'd like to see a little bit more from the Wenberg, Eberle, Johansson line. I didn't really see much from them in the first.
it has been
And they are the first line. You kind of want to see a little more from them.
yeah, it's been amazingly quiet so far in this game. Um, and I think you could even say that after the last game, to some
Yeah.
extent. I mean, they did a good job with possession stuff. Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
That
Right
was a
there.
nice look.
Yeah,
This,
McCann, Geeky, and Tanev going
yeah,
now.
yeah, and they've been really really good so far tonight. I've liked that a lot. But good job catching the Lightning in the line change. Of course, second period, you've got that long change, so it's a little easier to do that.
Yeah,
And
I mean that's what they work on so much is transition play, trying to catch the other team with speed.
yeah, I was gonna say they've done that really well all year. That's kind of why they've dominated second periods so much. Is just been because they've been really good at being opportunistic in those moments. Always having a forward up, regardless of how long they've been on the ice. Having a forward up, away, near side from the camera, away from the benches, so that there's always a nice solid outlet opportunity for someone to put pressure on the other team. But definitely want to see a little bit of a better job establishing
Who had
things.
that pinch just there? Is that Lozon? I think it was. Yeah. But I like when he kind of bailed out of it
Mm-hmm.
and using his body there to keep Belmar wide.
Yes, that was a good job there. Lightning didn't really have anybody there to help follow up, which is good.
Yeah. Hey Dylan, what's your clock at? What's the clock at for you?
16:50.
Okay, mine just hit 16:50, so I think we're back closer now.
Okay, cool. That'll help.
Just wanted to make sure it wasn't it wasn't a 10-second difference or whatever it is.
Yeah. There we go.
Cool.
Nice to see Donato back.
Yes. Yeah, glad to have him back in the lineup. Hate that it had to be as a result of injury, but that's just how it goes.
Especially because, Yarncroke had just been picking things up again.
Yes. That's a tough break for him. And he's not even on the road trip, so that's not a good sign.
No. That was not a great turnover there.
No.
Oh, man.
Whoa. Okay, he got laid out by Alexiak.
Yeah, he's
wow.
still down.
I'm surprised someone's going to fight Alexiak. Alexiak, it was looking like he was expecting that.
Yeah,
Oh, that is brutal.
yeah,
Yeah, is he? Oh no.
yeah. Because he went that
I
that
I I don't know the post or what it was. The hit, the post.
it looked like the post hit him maybe right below
Yeah.
where the chest pads there are.
Now, keep in mind we have not seen a replay of the hit yet. I haven't anyway.
Right.
All right, now replay coming up here. Oh, that looked okay. First impression, it looks like solid through the body. Yes. Yeah, no, that's just kind of shoulder to shoulder, and then
Yeah.
just the way he hits the ground and goes into the net.
Yeah, it seemed
Oh,
like a clean hit. They haven't shown a replay on the Lightning broadcast at all, so I haven't seen one
okay,
yet.
yeah. That's
Oh,
a
here
clean
we
hit.
go.
I will say that's a clean hit. I'm pretty
Yeah,
confident.
yeah. I thought it was a clean hit, but where did he hit on the post there? Oh, it was a little up higher. It looks like maybe.
It's like his head. Yeah, I mean, only the top of his head got the post. I think it's just the hit that hurt him.
Yeah, well, and probably landing on Grubauer didn't help anything.
Yeah.
Just because it made it a little bit of a more awkward landing. Let's going to check back here on the chat, try to catch up. Lots of stuff here. We're not a comeback team. That's from Joey. We have been. I think we're capable of it. 2 goals is a lot more difficult than 1, though. Why can't we have nice things? From Sergeant Pickles. Feels like the Kraken have to score the next one. I would agree with that. You definitely don't want to fall into a 3-0 hole against the Lightning. Want to see more shots on net for sure. Dylan, are you on Espen? You should go back by 10 seconds to be in better sync with RJ. That's from Autumn. Yes, I'm on Espen. I think we're both on Espen, right?
Yeah, we are. But I think we're closer now.
Yeah. It seemed like you were able to speed things up. That was good. If we don't score the next goal, it's over. Tampa doesn't lose one up by 3. I agree with that. At least not regularly. They don't make it a habit. Gonna watch a little bit as the Kraken have it in the offensive zone. Well, maybe I shouldn't. As it just gets pushed out.
Had to tweet about that hit. Making sure I spelled Kachuk properly.
Yeah. Behind 12 seconds. Yeah, that's going to be one thing with this is everybody's going to be a little bit ahead or behind of each other, and then lots of stuff about the Alexiak hit.
Yep.
Aaron, yeah, it is possible.
That might be the biggest hit I've seen from the Kraken this season, from anyone.
Certainly the most devastating.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's just like this open ice hit, but then there's this immovable object, so to speak, there. Both Grubauer and the net itself.
No penalty there? No?
I guess not.
Looked like Wenberg maybe just tripped over the stick or something. I don't know.
But, yeah. Oh, that would have been a good one to have. Who was that? Was that Eberle coming down through the slot?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that would have been really nice. Let's see. Let's see, I crushed him. It looked legal. Let's see.
Yeah, no, it was a clean hit.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that because that's the kind of play you want. Guys go into the net. You know, I mean, he has to drive to the net. You want him. One, you want to get him out of the way. Just use your body to get him out of the way.
Right.
But on a play like that, as long as the point of contact is clean, like it was, make that hit as hard as you can. You want guys to be afraid of driving to the net like that. You don't want to do it in any kind of a dirty way, but you want them to have some fear to drive to the middle.
Right. I mean, that's been something I think both of us have been, kind of wanting out of Alexiak all along. The most egregious time of him not doing that, of course, being that DeBrincat, kind of one-on-one. Where
So what was this penalty here?
I didn't see it. When I looked back down from chat, there was, it was just starting. I saw Vasilevsky leave the net.
Yeah, it happened a little bit before. They took a little while they wanted to get clean possession before Vasilevsky left the net. I don't know what that penalty was. I didn't see it.
Yeah, I don't either. Does that count as a shot on goal? I was betting on a Big Rig versus Big Rig. Who keeps the name Battle Royale with Maroon and Alexiak? That would be a heck of a fight.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But this is gonna be something, as Aaron said, big moment coming up. Yeah, you have to get rid of this penalty. You had to kill this penalty
for sure. Cannot go down 3-0.
No, and the momentum that a power play goal brings too, like just on top of the fact that you're going down 3-0. I feel like this is As Autumn is saying, this could be the game right here. That being said, PK has been pretty good lately. I think
Mm-hmm.
this is going to be where Tampa's going to miss some of those stars that we talked about at the beginning of the game being out. This is where you'd like to have, point around, or obviously Kucherov, who wouldn't
Yes. Yeah,
even.
I mean, but one thing to watch though is Stamkos on those left side
Mm-hmm,
boards as the trigger man. I mean, one of the things that makes Tampa's power play so dangerous is that you have Stamkos on one side and Kucherov on the other side, and you can't really take away both. And they
mm-hmm,
both have the one timers that can beat you. Now I would like to see the Kraken's PK kind of focus a little bit more to that left. Well, I guess their right, Tampa's left side, where Stamkos is on that wing, taking away that one timer pass for Stamkos. They did a pretty good job of it against Washington. Ovechkin in that spot. I think you want to go with something similar here against Tampa.
Oh, it didn't even look like Geeky's stick made contact with him.
What? What? I mean, what are they?
It was a high stick on Morgan Geeky,
Oh, okay.
but it didn't. At least from the angle, maybe it grazed his nose.
Oh,
But
I don't. Yeah, I don't even think that hit. If
Kaloran
anything,
sure
it
didn't seem
grazed the visor.
right. Kaloran sure
And he
didn't
didn't
seem
even play that one
phased.
up.
Yeah.
No, I
So
mean he didn't. He didn't throw his head back or anything. I'm surprised the ref.
ref had a good angle of that too.
Yeah.
But going back to what you were saying as far as shutting down Stamkos in that spot, they did a good job of shutting down Ovechkin from that same spot in the Capitals game. So
Yes,
hopefully
that's
they
what I'm saying. I think they should go with something
apply
similar.
those same strategies. They've really got Larson on him. If you notice, he's playing a little more up away from the net than you might normally see on a PK, making sure he's right there in Stamkos's shooting
And then
lane.
Blackwell's the forward on that side. He's got to make sure to keep his head on a swivel there, know where Stamkos is at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see there, they left way too much room there,
Yep.
but Grubauer, the big save.
Yeah.
They had both, the forward and defenseman on the right side going way left. I was surprised they kind of
Certainly Blackwell. I'm not sure what Blackwell was doing, and he kind of was planted, not really moving much. You generally
Right.
on the PK, you want to be moving, trying to get into lanes. His feet were pretty stuck to the
Yeah.
ice there.
But look, Gord's doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
he
I don't know.
is.
I mean, like they're giving him that Stamkos shot if they can get it.
Yeah. I mean, there maybe Gord got a piece of that. It looked like someone did, either him or Larson, the
But
cross
see,
ice pass.
if I
But
try and play it up to Hedman here and just have him, feed it over to Stamkos
mm-hmm.
because the room's there to do it.
Yeah, good pick off there and clear. Going back over to chats. Stratic, Kraken missing good opportunities here to get good shots. They're playing well in their D zone, but offensive zone passes aren't connecting for chances. I'd agree with that. That's a big save from that
Huge
slot
save,
in the shot in the
pass
slot.
by Barry Boulet there to generate that.
Mm-hmm. Good job here by Yanni Gord. Bring it in.
Oh, love that.
Yeah.
Love that. 1-on-3.
Yep. Tanev joining in. You're gonna kill off just about all that's left on this.
And draws a penalty.
Yep. There you go.
From Yanni Gord. Yeah, Tampa fans know very well that he can do that.
Mm-hmm.
What an effort.
Yeah. Oh, where's the smile? Where's the smile, Yanni Gord? Expected him to get up from that totally smiling, beaming.
Yep.
But that's something.
He's not like he hasn't dropped the gloves or anything. That's the real.
Yeah, but that's something that really impressed me last year at the U18s from Matty Beniers. He had he did that several times on PKs.
Yeah, and so no, I mean he's definitely capable of doing that. Sorry, I was laughing at it. It looked like Gord kind of getting up, let it like hook the ref a little bit.
Yeah. So we'll see off this face off. Got just a little bit of that 4-on-4 time. You'd want the Kraken. Yeah, you'd want the Kraken to keep it here.
They can set up, but that's not happening.
Didn't happen at all.
Job by Wenberg coming back, just forcing Barry Boulet to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he could have easily just walked it into the zone and killed it. Another 5 or 6 seconds.
Play of the game by Yanni. Yanni is the man. Yep.
Yeah,
No,
for sure.
chat knows what's up.
Eberle. Donato up here. Was this the first unit? Yeah.
Yep.
I'd like to see maybe McCann out here for the first unit. I don't know.
Yeah, I would. I mean, it's weird because they, at unit 1 and 2, it's kind of mixed. They don't really stack their guys.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now they finally get set up a little bit. Man, the Lightning are being aggressive though. You got Matthew Joseph
Yeah.
going right over Lindbergh,
Well,
forcing him to.
why wouldn't you? You've done a really good job this period of shutting down the Kraken. You've got a 2-goal lead. Um, they haven't exactly shown anything super special offensively as far
No, and
as passing or
that's
anything.
where given the power play that the Kraken run, the solution to that is moving the puck quicker when it's on
Hmm.
your, by the time it gets on your stick. Because Wenberg had a lot of time there just watching before it got to him while that puck was in the corner. You've got to be ready for when that puck comes onto your stick, know exactly where you're going with it next,
Hmm.
where you can relieve the pressure. And it seemed like he didn't really start thinking about that until after he got the puck.
Yeah. No, yeah. I'd like to see better zone entries. They're still
Yeah,
pretty
sure.
timid on the zone entries on the power play. That one wasn't too bad. Yanni and Schwartz getting it,
All right, we
but
got
see,
Flurry up top on a power play, which I like to see.
yeah, but
Because
did
yeah,
you
with no Geo, someone else has to do it.
right? But did you notice like how far Geeky came down? Like you had 3 Kraken forwards, all in
Yeah,
what
that was
5 square feet of ice,
yeah. No, that was an over pursuit there.
and then that
Or
was
personnel. Oh no! Oh no!
oh no,
What?
Blackwell. Oh, that was a
All
weird
right, got to
series of
get that
events.
checked out when he gets to the bench.
Mm-hmm. That was very odd. I've ever seen.
I know. When was the last time you've seen someone you do that like twice?
Yeah,
Like one after.
I like that. Alexiak, maybe if you shoot that a little quicker. Oh, Tanev directing
Oh,
traffic there a little bit.
yep.
Didn't have the time he thought he had. But if you notice, like, who's that? Appleton is their man down low. He's not exactly trying to get in front of Vasilevsky. Like, there isn't a lot of desire to try to screen the goalie from the Kraken. Really,
No, there
kind of
is. And against
ever.
a guy like Vasilevsky, that's something you really need to do. You need to take his eyes out of it because if he can see it, with his body, he can usually get something on it.
Right. And, him, Appleton in this case, playing down below the goal line there, essentially just waiting for a pass so that you can, keep the cycle going. I want a lot more kind of killer instinct from the Kraken in situations like that. I want him net front so that somebody can throw a bad shot on net, but maybe it squeaks through because the goalie can't see it.
Right. Exactly. You just want him. Yeah, they're in front.
Especially with the Lightning playing so aggressive. Like Appleton had a
Mhm.
lot of space in front of the net.
Yeah, he did. I mean, they're giving that to him.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to get the puck there and have the man there in the right spot.
Yeah. Definitely not a lot of kind words to be said about the power play over in chat.
And I don't blame everyone. That was
I don't either.
we need to see better.
Yeah, gonna bring it up. At least we got to see the power play without Geo. I agree, and I liked Fleury's kind of aggressiveness. He shoots a little quicker than Geo does.
Yep. So yeah, more of that. Give me more of Flurry at the point there.
Yeah, and he walks the line I think a little better than Geo does. Geo will take a step in, which is fine, but Fleury was moving around a little more laterally.
Yeah.
Why are we so bad on the road? All I can figure is that this team feeds off the crowd more than most. That's from Sergeant Pickles. I do think that has been key those last 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, certainly if you're asking like the inverse of it, why are we so much better at home? That certainly, plays a part. I think they really do feed off the crowd, especially recently, as great as the crowd has been.
Yeah, for sure. That being said, at some point you got to figure out the road struggles. This, despite being down 2-0, though, it still feels light years better than the last couple road performances we'd seen.
Right. I mean, there were some times basically in that 6-game losing streak where like once they'd go down 2-0 early in the second, you'd be like, all right, well, it's happening again. And you'd know the game was over. You'd know they had no chance. It doesn't feel like that at all right now.
I definitely agree, Michael, that they need to play a lot faster on the power play and just in the offensive zone in general right now. I think that's something that they really need to get going because that's how you're going to combat the Tampa being so aggressive in their own zone. Their defensemen being so aggressive. You need them to respect you, and right now they're not. Certainly not on that power play. Not that there was a lot that they had to respect.
Yeah. No, I mean, they just never got it going. They never got set up.
Yeah. Well, like this, that was a good look. Did you see how Lauzon just totally activated with the forwards there.
He keeps building his case for a good game here.
Mm-hmm. Here we
Just
go.
got to keep it clean on the other end.
See, they are being forced into the boards. They already have a tendency to maybe hug the boards a little bit, the Kraken forwards, and the Lightning are really using that to their advantage. They're just really forcing them into the boards and giving them nowhere to go and limiting their passing options.
All right, Lauzon. Yeah, there you go. Tie up with Palat in front.
Yep.
Don't worry about the puck. Just make sure you take a man out.
Yep. Did it there. Read that coming around. Larson needs to get back in there. There he goes.
Over. He had his head on a swivel.
Mm-hmm. See, that was a good handoff.
I'm just watching Lauzon this shift. Like I'm enjoying this.
Me too. I generally just watch the defenseman anyway, but that's been good. The problem is this line's been out there for a while, so everybody needs to get a change here.
All right, that should be it. That's fine.
Oh, yeah. Would like to have seen that pass hit McCann a little bit better, let him carry that into the zone, but it got the job done. That's going to be a hand pass, yeah.
That D pair can change. So good shift from Lauzon there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good little flying things.
Good shift by everybody. I mean, there wasn't really any chances on Grubauer. Nothing too scary and nothing in general. Yes, you don't want to be in your own zone that long. Leads to you needing that line change, limits your offensive chances, but it could have been a lot worse.
Yep.
We've typically been a little too heavy in terms of construction and line matching on the road. And line matching on the road can blunt that top heavy from Striatic. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that is something to be said, right? Home ice advantage is you get to match lines. Don't get that on the road. That being said, I feel like this lineup is a little bit more spread out than what they had going in Arizona or Vegas or even that Edmonton game a little before that.
A bit of quick league news. We won't dwell on it too long, but I just thought it was interesting. Looks like Ottawa's going to put their goalie Matt Murray, on waivers.
Interesting. I haven't been paying too much attention to them or him this year. I assume that means he's not been great.
I mean, I did see their last game against San Jose. He did not look good at all. So,
yeah, I'm sure they're wishing they still had Joey Decord.
Yep.
That was a good job there by Fleury. Again, defensively got a stick in there. Limited the release of whoever that was. Made it an easier save for Grubauer.
I am seeing some more of,
Didn't like that decision, though.
No.
You had time to settle that down. Oh, that was sloppy from Yanni.
Does Mason Appleton think he's playing center here?
Probably. But
because
I almost wonder if that's by design, though. I mean, we've seen Gord struggle a little bit with defensive assignments.
If Appleton's the guy who, although Appleton, looking like 5 seconds ago, he's playing left wing now. Mm-hmm. He's been playing all three positions on the shift, which
means he's healthy. He's back to himself. Exactly. He's feeling good.
There he goes. He's on the left side boards here.
But they had two good opportunities to establish control of the puck and get this puck out of their zone a long time ago, and they didn't. So yes, Tampa wasn't really doing anything with it, but it meant that line died out there on the ice essentially.
Yep.
One of your one of your better lines, and now you're back out there with your fourth line. Interesting group, this line too.
Yeah, Blackwell, Donskoy, and with Blackwell centering.
Yeah, in some ways, I feel like that line could really make something happen, but at the same time, I don't know how much you can totally trust in that. Like, that seems like one of those more like pleasant surprise lines. Like, every so often they're going to do something that you're going to be like, oh. But
you certainly can't rely on it.
Exactly. My hockey coaches made us skate lines when we were this flat-footed. That's from Michael. I mean, yeah. Yanni looking frustrated on that sloppy centering pass you mentioned. Yeah, I think he knew he just ripped it a little too fast. he didn't have a ton of time and space, so I get wanting to get it out of there quick, but he didn't necessarily need to put all that heat on it.
No, no,
And
he didn't.
I mean, it's also just dangerous to be passing cross ice in your own zone like that in general. Like, you never know what's there. Even if you think it's clear, doesn't mean it always is. Not in terms of style, but this is the quality of game they were putting in against really bad teams before. Baby steps forward, I guess. That's from Sergeant Pickles. I would agree with that. I mean, again, it is only 2-0. You could argue now at this point that they've been outplayed by the Lightning for more of this game than not. Certainly, I got to imagine zone time is pretty favorable to Tampa Bay. But it doesn't feel like the game's off the rails like some of the other games they've played.
No, it doesn't. And you know what? I'm gonna go to Natural Stat Trick and look at the stats here, because I know the Lightning had like 80-something% of expected goals in the first period.
Really, that's surprising. I thought the Kraken were good enough for a little while there.
All right, so so let's go. Fenwick, unblocked shot attempts. Tampa with 67% so far in this game. Scoring chances for Tampa with 66%. High danger chances for Tampa with 81%. Expected goals for Tampa with 76% on the game. So
yeah,
that numbers there look pretty dominant.
Yeah, especially the high danger one, but that totally matches with what we've seen from them. Like the Lightning, I mean, the Kraken have not been able to get, great looks. And then their reluctance to kind of pull the trigger in situations where it's not a great look is once again becoming maybe a little frustrating, especially after you won the last game on Johansson just kind of throwing one at the net.
I was just about to say, in a situation like this, you need one of those Johansson type goals where you just throw the puck on net and it goes in for you, and all of a sudden you're right back in it.
Right. Try to catch Vasilevsky off guard a little bit.
Yeah. Speaking of Johansson, he got up pretty slow there after into the board, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, already struggled with the injury issues this season, and we know how much he means, especially on the power play to this team.
Yeah.
Is that McCann out there with Eberle now?
Yeah, and Geeky. Yep.
Yeah.
So Eberle just got to change. So I think we're just catching up because there's TNF. Yep.
Yeah. I was gonna say interesting change.
Yeah, but no, it just was a result of the.
Yeah, talk about making your lines top heavy as far as maybe your best goal scorers, sticking to all those guys. Certainly best shots.
Seriously. Which, hey, when you're trailing by a couple goals, more than halfway through a game, on paper, I don't mind.
No.
To try and generate something, because as was pointed out somewhere in the chat, they kind of need one before the end of the period, or it would go a long way.
It would go a long way. I wouldn't
I don't
say
think they need it. Yeah. But...
Yeah, I would disagree that they absolutely need it. Just because momentum is a big thing in hockey. There you go. So you got to get Vasilevsky's heart rate up a little bit.
Yep.
Just because, let's say you get one. I think the Kraken are capable of scoring too quick, especially against the Lightning. I feel like Vasilevsky can sometimes be susceptible to something like that, too quick shots like that. Mm-hmm. He's a very mentally focused goalie, but sometimes then you can catch them thinking about the last one, and then maybe they overcorrect or something else slips in their game. And we know the Kraken are actually halfway decent with the net empty. If they can, pull off the goalie pull itself without anything disastrous happen.
Oh, wow!
Just got totally boxed out there, Susie. Susie again needs to be way stronger.
Size, I think. Also, good to see Boris Kachuk back after getting hit by Alexiak there. Glad he's all right.
Yeah, and driving the net and stuff. But yes, Susie, you have certainly the weight advantage in a situation like that. And he had the inside track on him at first. He gave up position and then also lost the strength battle.
He did. He had a step and a half on Kachuk there to start. I mean, just, between the size and the speed, you can't lose that battle.
Right. And, that's one of those times, at least attempt to make a play on the puck while you step in front of him, and then you're not going to draw that interference penalty. That's just one of those you can play a little crafty
Yep.
like that.
So in the chat, they're asking about Donskoy. I haven't really noticed him a whole bunch in this game. I mean, what do you think? I mean, has he stood out at all? I mean, what do you think?
No, I mean that fourth line has barely played. It feels like.
Yep. Yeah, we
It,
got to check the ice time and intermission.
yeah, since they've been down kind of from the beginning, it has felt like Hackstall's wanted to just roll with these other lines, which is interesting considering they do have to play again tomorrow.
Right.
I could see doing that if you've got a day of rest. Really just going out there and maybe running your top guys into the ground as you try to make a comeback. But with another tough opponent tomorrow, it might be a little bit of an interesting call.
I'm gonna take a look at the ice time.
I was just gonna say, why don't you go ahead and do that while we got the icing going?
All right. So let's see. We've got Donskoy with 5:37 of ice time.
That is not a lot.
That is the lowest on the team. So yeah, Blackwell with 6:54 and Donato with 6:17. So yeah, that fourth line has not played a whole lot. And Donskoy especially has played the least of all of them.
Right. And it's a little more ice time for those other two because they've had some special teams duties tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Which, although Donskoy usually has more special teams duties.
I didn't see him on the power play, though.
I didn't either. So that makes a difference. And then he is one of the penalty killers, but I don't remember seeing him on the PK there. Oh, some good chances here.
I like that. Donato's played a good game, too. Again, making the most out of your time back in the lineup.
Yeah. I mean, that's been the story all season.
Brutal.
Oh. Okay.
Just, Blackwell falling down again.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I was just afraid I was about to see a goal against or something.
Yeah, no, it's just.
Yep.
He's definitely had some struggles tonight.
Yeah.
Stratic, they need to put some baby powder on the blades. Let's see. Fleury's shot is way more dynamic than Gio to my untrained eye. I would agree with that at this point. His release is certainly quicker than Gio's is, and I think that makes a big difference as far as it not getting blocked as much. Giordano's a little bit of a slower release, especially if he's going to wind up for any sort of snap or slap shot. The opposing team, we've seen them all season long do a really good job of stepping into that shooting lane and blocking it before it ever becomes too dangerous. So that is definitely one reason why Fleury's shots look a lot better. Joey might be the first shutout of the season. I don't know. There's still 20 whole minutes left.
Keep saying shutout.
I was going to say, though, that's why I read the word out loud because, we'll see if that gets going. Everybody at home, go ahead, say shutout. Call it now, Vasilevsky shutout. And maybe we can get the bad mojo going. Team really struggles with passing. Yeah, it's still not as, and I don't know that it's great that I'm going to say this, but it's not as bad as we've seen from them. But certainly through that, that stretch there, it was not good. And you could tell it's got a definite domino effect on this team. One guy will make a bad pass that puts them in a rougher situation. The next guy feels the pressure that they have to overcompensate for that and try to maybe do something a little more dangerous, which then doesn't work. And the next thing you know, everybody's pressing, everybody's trying to play a little faster than maybe they should. Their feet are going quicker than their hands or brain can keep up. So you'd like to see, okay, so-and-so just made a bad pass. I'm going to collect the puck, calm down if I can, make sure I make a good pass, settle things down, make sure that stuff doesn't spiral throughout the rest of the guys.
Yep. Sorry, I'm just getting the end of period tweet out here.
Yep. And I figured I was just trying to catch back up on chats. Rec League passing, that's from Hunter. It was definitely worse in this period than it was in the first period. Man, it would be good to get Donskoy going, at least chip in one every few games. I mean, he had so many chances there for a while. I do think it's probably a little bit in his head at this point that, he hasn't been lucky because he's had some of the better high danger chances of anybody on this team. And he had them consistently for, that first stretch of home games that they had. I couldn't tell you why he didn't end up getting one because he was doing everything right. Just unlucky. From Autumn, if you're getting blown out and have a back-to-back, is there a way to rest your players and give up essentially? I mean, you could just do that. You could just give up. I don't think they're going to do that. The game's not that out of hand either. 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in hockey, especially going into a third period. Maybe not so much with a team like the Lightning that have won back-to-back cups. They're, probably pretty mentally resilient, but a lot of times that's where you see teams start to relax a little. They feel like, okay, we've got that multi-goal cushion. Maybe we can take a foot off the gas here. Maybe try some fun stuff. Get my name on the score sheet or something, and that's when you'll see just enough of a mistake for the other team to take advantage of. So I don't think the Kraken should be giving up essentially in this game. But yeah, I mean, otherwise it's just hard back-to-back nights. There's only so much you can do to get your players ready.
It will be interesting to see how the ice time is allotted in the third, though. Knowing you have that next game coming up.
Certainly, if let's say the Lightning come out and score, I think then you start seeing Donskoy Blackwell and Donato out there a little bit more. Blackwell's blunders have been rough this period. Yeah, he's had a couple rough ones. Joshua, hello friends. Hope I was coming into a better score situation, but how have the boys been playing thus far? Pretty good considering what they're going up against, Joshua. They look better.
I wouldn't even say that Seattle hasn't been playing well. Just Tampa's been playing very, very well. They're doing what they do.
Yeah, I mean, they look like the team that's won back-to-back cups. I know I've said that a lot tonight, but there's a reason I'm saying it. That's a really hard thing to do. We need some Pablo energy here. It's from Marky. Tampa's passing is crisp. Yeah, I mean, they've got the benefit of the lead though, so you can slow down a little bit in situations like that. Feels like there were barely any shots on goal. Yeah, Kraken need to do better. Like I said, just start throwing stuff on net. Something.
Yeah, I believe they have
could happen.
13. Their season low is 20, so got to get some more of those.
Yeah. Seattle 0.24 expected goals to Tampa's 1.86 expected goals on Money Puck. 2-0 game
feels just about right to me.
It does. 2-0 game feels pretty appropriate. Wish we had that first Grubauer shot back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those could be big. When you're playing a team like Tampa, you can rarely afford to give up a soft one like that and not have it bite you.
For sure. It's tough because they aren't scoring and the passing is bad, but away from the puck, they are playing very well, even though Tampa is more conservative, playing more conservative offense with the lead. I agree. Everything away from the puck has been excellent offensively and defensively. Maybe like to see the forecheck, retain possession a little bit longer in the offensive zone. But you got anything for that?
Yeah, I mean, I just agree. Sorry, yeah. I was checking a stat here.
That's okay. Michael, gonna need Dreger to play well tomorrow to keep up with the Panthers, who also usually outskate their opponents. Yeah, that game's gonna be tough. Florida's a really good, sneaky good team.
Yeah, Dylan, how different do you think it's gonna look stylistically from tonight's game? Because we know how Tampa plays. They're putting on a clinic of exactly the way they like to play. Solid defensively, they will give you absolutely nothing, but they're good enough offensively to get a few goals with it too. Panthers, like, how differently do they play? Because they're also a very skilled team, but it seems like they're in a little bit more offensively active games.
Yes, and I think a lot of that comes down to their D plays a little more conservative than Tampa's does. The defensemen, they don't rely on their defensemen to kind of drive their transition game the way that Tampa does. That's more of the job of guys like Barkov, right? Sasha Barkov, because he's so damn good at it. It's not a problem. But so that right there is a bigger deal. Should have an easier time with zone entries tomorrow night than we are tonight, just because, again, the D is not going to play. They're going to play a little more traditionally in that sense. Very, very good D, right? Led by Ekblad and all those guys. But yes, zone entry should be a little easier tonight. You can establish in the offensive zone a little bit easier by staying to the perimeter with your cycle game. All that stuff's a little bit easier. At least when Barkov's not out there, he's a really solid center. But in his own zone, he knows exactly where to be, it seems like, all the time. So looking forward to that aspect for the Kraken. But we had talked after the last game about which goalies we'd see in which games. We got Grubauer tonight. That wasn't exactly what we were thinking.
No, it wasn't. But yeah, it's a little different, and we will get the Driga revenge game.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be fun to see.
How much of that do you think was Hackstall just wanting to keep Grubauer, in the zone as much as possible coming off those last 2 games?
I think that played a pretty big role in it. He showed the desire to, keep Grubauer going when he's playing well, even if it's, maybe not as much rest as you'd like to give him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it played a pretty big part.
Yeah. There's a reason they're the two-time Cup champions. Yep.
You're seeing it tonight.
Yep. Geo sticks with the Dragon Ball Z wind-up where he starts it in the first period and finally sends it in the third. Nice one, Sergeant Pickles. Grubauer is always sleeping early, gets caught out early in periods too often. That's from Hunter. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit before. He is somebody that needs to kind of get worked in, and he likes facing regular shots. That is something that he does better with. That being said, I don't want to see the team just, coming out flat the way they did for so many of those games.
No.
Yes, Joshua, I am watching the Tampa broadcast.
Yep.
Now I'm not watching it with sound, obviously, because I got my mic right here. Maybe that's what's going on.
Yep.
I'll watch the Florida one with sound tomorrow, and hopefully that changes things for us. But yes. Do you want to take our second intermission break now, RJ?
Yep.
Come back in a sec. All right, so we'll be, back in just a sec, everybody, for the start of the third period. All right, RJ, we are back. Alex asking everybody how everybody's doing. I hope everybody's doing well. Would like to see an overtime for morale and momentum going into tomorrow. Yeah, that would be nice to have. I think you're on mute there, RJ.
Yes, I was.
There
All
you go.
right. Yes. Very happy with a point here. That's another thing that good teams tend to do, that, to pick up a point in a game like this.
Yeah, get in those 3-point games. Either way, you're at least walking away with something. That's what a team like the Kraken needs. After starting off in that little bit of a standings deficit that they're in right now.
Yep.
I love to see a 2-2 record on this road trip. Sabres and Red Wings are very winnable games. That's from Joey. I think that would be a decent result for the road trip, knowing the quality of these first two opponents on a back-to-back set.
Ideally, you'd like to split these two at least.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, good push to start the period.
I was gonna say, was that Johansson again? It looked like it.
Yep, I believe so. So, also good to see he's back and seemingly feeling fine.
Right, and is that Tanev out there with him?
It is.
Yeah.
So Wenberg, Tanev, Johansson.
Definitely trying to get some energy going from Hackstall.
That would be Tanev and Eberle's spot, and we have kind of pointed out, or chat's pointed out, really, Eberle maybe having a quiet game.
Yeah. And then let's see, what's this line? We got Geeky, Schwartz, and is that Eberle? Yeah.
That it is. So Schwartz and Eberle back together. Geeky centering.
Yeah. I kind of like that, though. I think that could be okay.
Yeah, the Kraken have really made an effort to kind of put Geeky in the spots to get him going.
Yeah, for sure. I think they know that he's got the skills and the potential for it. If he can just kind of string it together night in, night out, which isn't easy. That being said, I want to see them doing a little better job of getting out of their zone here.
Yep. All right, we got Fleury and Dunn back now. And then Fleury's heading off. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was going to say that'd be an interesting combo to roll with. Hey, there you go. I was going to say, bad pass to start off that breakout from Dunn. He had all the time in the world, too. Almost too much time. All the forwards were just kind of stuck at the blue line. They couldn't enter the zone. That's something we used to see from them. We hadn't seen the last couple games.
Right.
Would have liked to have seen that stay forgotten.
Yeah. No.
Another turnover in your own zone. Aggressive play by Susie there, but I like it.
Yeah, at this point, you're going to have to start taking some chances.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think it's, just intimidating if you're playing against the 5'1" Barre Boulet.
Yeah. Yes.
Just tower over him
with
your extra 1.5 foot, and, means he can't pick his spot, at least. But yeah, definitely just got to be better with their breakout passes. That is for sure the one area they cannot afford to be so sloppy on, and with the passing so bad. And I don't like this trend of the passing getting worse as the game goes on.
No, that's certainly not a good thing. Oh, wow, Maroon was trying to get that one to go short side.
But see, that's what I was talking about with Tampa Bay. You're up by 2. That's just enough for you to maybe feel comfortable. Maybe you start trying things you wouldn't normally try. Got to think Pat Maroon's not normally trying to hit that backhand shot.
Yep.
But that's the stuff that then, as the Kraken, you have to be looking for things like that and try to exploit it any chance you get. If a defenseman for Tampa gets a little bit too aggressive carrying the puck up or something like that, maybe try to pick it off. And that was a good takeaway by Tanev, or at least to stop the potential shot from Killorn. Good job by Wenberg there, filling in while both defensemen were behind the blue line. Like to see that. Just don't like to see Tampa have this much control.
I mean, this is the kind of thing you can't let happen for this kind of extended stretch. Even if you get out of it without allowing a goal, you need to start getting some chances yourselves.
Right. I mean, they're doing a good job. Tampa's not really getting a lot of quality looks at all, much less actual chances where they're shooting the puck. But
this is the kind of thing where if we're talking about a 1-to-1 game, we're thrilled with this. This is great.
Yeah.
Keep him to the outside, do exactly what you're doing. That is a tough icing to take. Yeah, you couldn't hit center. Yeah, that's tough. But yeah, I mean, if it's tie game, you're thrilled with this. You're playing the right kind of hockey to get the point. But they just need a little something more right now.
Do you call a timeout here if you're Hackstall?
You can't. After an icing, you can't.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep. Under the old rules, it's one where you might think about it.
I know. See, that's the problem with still playing all those old NHL 2K games.
Yep, yeah, you've still got that.
It's so ingrained in me. But, yeah, I mean, this one's going to be tough because these guys are totally gassed.
Yeah, well, see what they've done. They did get one guy after the change. They're making him change it back up to what it was, which again kind of defeats the purpose of the whole. Yeah, see, Lightning complaining defeats the purpose of the icing, not allowing him to get a change because the guys on the ice can rest. There's still 4 guys for the Kraken. They're trying to get a 5th out there, so this is working for Seattle.
Yeah, I really like it, and look at Hacksaw. He's totally playing it. He's like
some coaching gamesmanship.
In that conversation with the ref there, he was clearly trying to play it off like it was the ref's fault. The ref had the wrong guy out there.
Send that across. There it is.
Yeah. And Alexiak doing a good job. See, I like that. Go ahead, stay in the zone with it. Try to set something up. Schwartz couldn't make it happen. Guys couldn't get there in time for him to move that puck, but I like at least the thought behind what Alexiak was doing there, because he was really tired too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he was at the end of a shift.
But again, just
a rebound from Grubauer there. Is he all right?
I mean, he had to stretch pretty far for that one.
I never like it when goalies are slow to get up like that. Sometimes they'll just do that naturally, but what
I mean, he seemed okay as he stood up. They had him, at least on my broadcast, they were zoomed in pretty tight on his face. He didn't seem to be in pain or anything. Hunter, haven't had a good opportunity in a while. Yes, we are definitely lacking on those right now. Got to get it out of their own zone though.
Yep.
That's definitely a struggle. Like that was an interesting choice by Yanni to kind of send it back instead of maybe trying to take it and turn up ice. I don't know if he felt the pressure there.
Who's the third on that? You've got Gord, McCann, and who else?
Gord, McCann, I don't know.
I like the comment from Stratic. Tampa's now standing up at the Kraken's blue line, even more stifling.
Exactly. Yeah. They are really, really confident right now, which should be making them vulnerable, but the Kraken just haven't been able to capitalize on that. It's Appleton. It's the third man on that line.
So Appleton.
Finding myself really rooting for Lauzon, but also want to see more Fleury. Yeah, and I think after this game, we are going to see more Fleury.
Yes, he's certainly done enough to deserve some more ice time.
Yeah, I mean, and definitely.
And given Gio, on COVID protocol, that's likely a multi-game absence.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I know there could be some frustration, but Tampa has won 2 cups in a row. That's from Aaron. If it comes to it, Hackstall needs an early goalie pull, like 5+ minutes left. That's from Autumn. And I think we would see that.
Yeah, I think we would. And I wouldn't be opposed to it. It's so tough to get a couple goals against this Lightning team. You're going to need all the time you can get.
Mm-hmm.
And something has to tilt the ice for you right now, because they're just not getting the quality of chances that you need to get to score a couple goals.
Right. And maybe that means being a little bit more aggressive here defensively. There you go.
There you go. Drew a penalty already.
Yep. There you go.
Oh.
Kind of snuck through him, but
penalty by Tampa. All right. Big power play coming up here.
Yeah, this is huge for the Kraken. This is where you can get back into this game for sure.
I mean, I tweeted at the second intermission, it feels like, they're going to need a bounce or a power play goal. They got both kind of last game.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the chance for the power play to get them right back in it.
Exactly. Let's see. Sergeant Pickles, last few games, I noticed forwards doing a much better job slotting in on the blue line when they make a run into the net. Before it would lead to a lot of odd man rushes. Yeah, they are trying to fix that stuff. It does feel like, I don't know, maybe they were just waiting for a larger sample size, like the video coach or something for the Kraken. But it does feel like they're starting to make adjustments to that kind of stuff now in ways that they weren't before.
Yeah, and that's something that Hackstall has also talked about. Defending odd man rushes over the last few games is an area where they really need to improve, particularly after the Colorado game. And kind of the mess that was in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
That's something they really look to improve upon.
Yeah. That was a nice stick save. Nice save stick side. Yeah, it was a good save. He did a good job fighting it off because clearly he couldn't totally handle it, but he did a good job of sending it away from the net. COVID tougher on the older population too. Wouldn't be surprised if Gio is out for a while if it's a positive test. That's from Autumn. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Everybody responds to it different.
Yeah, it's hard to. I mean, he's not 60.
Lindsay, hey, how's it going? Hey guys, missed the last post game because I was with family for Thanksgiving, but that was quite a win over Carolina. Happy to be here tonight. Yeah, happy to have you back, Lindsay.
Good to have you, Lindsay. Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Hope all you had a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I did. You? I take it.
Yeah. No, I had a good time.
Good time. All right, so power play. What do you think the setup is here? Like,
all right,
are
you got top Johansson? I think will go net front. Although I mean they've been keeping it on the right board sometimes too.
I was gonna say, and that looks like Donato in the natural place to do that,
right?
Not Johansson, which is an interesting call given how much Johansson has expressed a desire to be net front and how comfortable he feels there.
Lol, I'm a year older than Gio. Please tell me you're joking there.
Yeah. All right. What have you thought about Donato being on this? First unit.
Sorry, what do I think of Donato?
Yeah, being on this first unit.
I mean, I kind of want to see where they're set up, where they're putting him, because if Johansson's net front, I mean, does Donato go on the right side boards then? Because he spent some time there.
It looked like
on the left.
I was gonna say
I need to get set up first.
It looked like he was
and
playing.
That's first set up. Oh, there goes the power play.
Yep. I mean, you gotta take that penalty there, but you shouldn't be in the position to have to take the penalty there. I was gonna say
no. I mean, coming in, you're already in a bad spot.
Yeah, it looked like Donato was kind of in the bumper role, like he was just kind of all over the place.
Right. I couldn't see them get set up yet. Exactly. He was in like 3 different spots, so hard for me to give a good answer on that until I see where they're set up. Not a banner night for the power play.
No. Lindsay, thanks RJ. It was really nice, but being in the central time zone and staying up late for these games is rough.
Oh yeah,
I can imagine.
Sure. Could not be a sports fan like on the East Coast. I would do it somehow, but like 2-3 hours out, it just makes it rough. I'm very happy to be in the Pacific time zone.
Yeah, for sure. Lots of stuff in chat questioning the lack of Jared McCann out there on that power play unit, especially when
he's
you
on
need
the.
I know, but especially when you need the goal.
Yeah, I don't know about starting with the unit that they did. Yeah, McCann's definitely a guy you'd want out there.
Yeah, Sergeant Pickles wants to see him in the Ovi dot with Dunn up top. Wouldn't even mind Larson up top. Yeah, I mean, I've thought Larson should get a little bit of power play time myself.
Yep. Yeah, I know you. I mean, you have mentioned that, and he's got the shot for it. But the way that they're, at least this game and a little before, they're not really utilizing those shots from the point.
No.
It's not a look they're going for right now. if it was, Larson's valuable there, Fleury's valuable there. That's one I'd like to see them go to that look a little bit more now when you have Fleury up at the point. Let's use his shot a little bit more.
Yeah, agreed. And now, they haven't exactly been a great 4-on-4 team so far this year. In the few times we've seen it. Actually seems like something we see fairly regularly from them compared to other teams. Oh.
All right.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
That's rare to see it bounce off the boards and then like
straight back.
Yeah.
Like just on a rope or something. Definitely not something you're used to seeing. But all right, so 4-on-4 is going to expire here. It's going to be
power play for under a minute.
Yeah, about a minute. By the time this is over, you're looking at around 10 minutes left in the period. You still need 2 just to tie it.
Yeah, you got to be looking to get one soon, once this power play is over.
Yeah.
First things first, kill this off. Oh. He had some open net there. Just missed.
Just shot it wide.
Great save, Grubauer.
Mm-hmm. Good job.
Quickly.
Yeah, good job throwing that rebound off to the side. And then that's going to do a good job. They'll get probably one good push, Tampa.
Sergeant Pickles is an interesting question. Who would you put 4-on-4 considering speed and open ice skating are key? I mean, Yanni Gord is someone that just, and also just the way that he thinks as well.
Yeah.
You want guys who can play the game well.
Yeah, he's going to use the space well. I'd have Tanev out there with him because I like his speed. He can get him the puck in those good spots. All right, here we go. Get it.
And then and then on like maybe Dunn and Larson, because Dunn, for obvious reasons, the offensive creativity, the speed, all that. Mm-hmm. And then Larson, again, smart guy. He'll be in the right spots. He can let Dunn do his thing.
Yeah. Again, though, what could have been like a 2-on-1. Ooh, Hedman banged up going back to the bench. What could have been a 2-on-1 ends up with just, a turnover as you enter the zone for the Kraken. Just can't keep having that happen. But definitely, if that injury is in any way serious for Hedman, it probably maybe, don't see him the rest of this game. That could be big for the Kraken.
Couple comments in chat about asking when the goalie pull is going to happen. Goalie pull now.
Yeah, there's 9.5 left. I would wait a little while longer, and I'd wait to not be spending so much time in your own zone. I mean,
minute mark, then I start to look for opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Nearest one, I'd go. That's if you're still down 2.
Yeah. See, there we go. I like that from Donato. Just throw the puck towards the net. I was just about to say, just shoot it. And see, here we go. Having that little bit of time in the zone, of course, having that little bit of time in the offensive zone, then we catch Tampa in the same situation we had been in most of the night where they're just kind of dumping and chasing because they need to make their line change, and we get the puck back right away. But they did what the Kraken weren't doing so much earlier, which is they settled it down, made sure the line change was complete, everything reset, and then they moved forward as a unit.
Turnover.
Yeah, that was a really rough turnover.
Yep, and that's the last guy you want to leave there for the one-timer in that spot. Stamkos is hardly ever going to miss that one.
Yeah, exactly. And Palat's not, is gonna know what to do with that puck in that situation too.
All right, let's take a look at the turnover that led to it. Was that Lauzon?
Yeah, it was Lauzon. Just chucking it to the middle of the ice, right? How many times we got to say you want that diamond shape?
I was rooting for Lauzon.
This way. You want to go this way, not this way. But
how much do you blame him, given you've got to kind of be aggressive in breaking the puck out of the zone?
You do have to be aggressive, and there at least was a Kraken player there. That being said, the pass was going to be way behind them, so the pass wasn't going to be a breakout pass anyway. but he had someone on him trying to make a play, moving at full speed like that. I get that that's an uncomfortable spot for him, and yeah, I don't necessarily know that he's totally trying to force that pass if the situation is different. Yeah, that's right. Hashtag whiteboard. Gotta pull it out. It's just one of those simple things you gotta do. There's a reason we teach it to the young ones, because if you can establish that as your way of thinking, um, you don't make mistakes like that. Oh, and then here we go. Get kind of burned by the transition again. It's gonna at least lead to some zone time for the Lightning here. 3 goals, 7:45. That's starting to, you'd be asking for a lot to get this one back now.
Yep.
Goalie pulls pretty much off the table. I mean, you could do it if you want. That was a nice play by McCann. See, that's the kind of stuff I was talking about with McCann. He can create his own offense. Eberle can't always do that stuff. Great shot again from McCann. There are just some guys that have that kind of drive where they can be their own offensive catalyst. They can just try to make something happen. And I just love that about McCann. And he's doing a good job getting back here too on defense, helping out. Blocked from Alexiak. Kraken are definitely more aggressive here. They're trying to get stuff going. Donskoy was a lot more aggressive defending there. I like that. Skate back a little, reset, try to find somebody off the line change. Donskoy did a good job there. Donato's got to have that puck, though. And back to the dump and chase. Yeah. So how much do you think we see this fourth line now? I mean, this was like the first time I remember seeing them in this third period.
See it more. I think Hackstall's just going to roll his lines, and what happens happens. That's what I would do, certainly with the back-to-back coming up. And that's another reason also maybe to pull your goalie very early. I'd look to pull him maybe next shift. You can get the top line on, pull him, and if you allow one early, then just play the bottom six. For the rest of the game. You want this decided early. If you're going to be out of it.
Exactly. That's why I said the goalie pull is probably out, but it's not for sure.
Well, I mean, you can also decide that just this is going to happen tonight, and that you're just going to bottom six some more. So you make a decision about that one way or the other. But if you're going to pull the goalie, you've got to do it in the next minute and a half.
Yeah. I would say next time you feel solid about your position.
Get this puck out of the zone here and get some guys on that aren't tired.
Can't tell if this is just because of the.
I would do it now. If you're gonna do it, I'd do it now.
Yeah, well, back to the dump and chase.
Well, I mean, they've got possession here. They made it work, so I would. And I don't mind necessarily if you're gonna dump the puck in and just overload it in the zone.
Yeah.
Knowing that the goalie's being pulled, I don't mind that.
Done.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks like this goalie pull's not happening.
No, they've had a couple opportunities.
Yep.
Where they could have used that extra man to either help keep it in the zone or help join the rush.
Yeah, you think the extra man actually would help out here. Also, I just think it'd be nice, just to not get shut out, just to even have a goal going into tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
If they can get one, even if they don't come all the way back.
Right. Try to keep some momentum rolling from those last 2 wins.
And 4-0 doesn't feel any, more embarrassing, but whatever than 3-0. It's not.
No, especially if you're going down swinging.
Exactly. Yeah, and get some chances. The kind you really haven't had a lot all game.
Mm-hmm.
I like Fleury heading down there in for the pinch. He knows he's got to be aggressive. He wins that puck.
Yeah. No, and I think getting a goal here would be really huge for everybody.
Yeah.
It makes this game feel a lot different than if you just take the 3-0 loss.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm trying to watch Grubauer's body language here. It looks like he was a little antsy in the crease there, but
I mean, there's nothing from Hackstall there that gives me any indication he's even considering it.
yeah, I agree. I mean, watching Hackstall. I mean, for Grubauer, you got to be ready no matter what, just to
Yeah,
be ready.
but Tampa just putting on a passing clinic.
Oh yeah.
Way to rub it in, guys.
I mean, I think it is
That's good.
important to look and acknowledge that just this is an elite hockey team that,
Mm-hmm.
two-time Stanley Cup winner, playing exactly their type of game and playing it so well.
Yeah,
And you do have to take that into account when judging the Kraken's performance tonight.
exactly. Let's see. Catching up on chat. I know Tampa is good, but their inability to control the puck is almost embarrassing. Another goal given up. It's definitely a concern given how long it's gone on now. At the beginning, it was just something that was happening kind of in waves, and that was doable. But yeah, this was rough. At least this game is more watchable than the Apple Cup right now.
Oh yeah,
From
how's that one?
I was gonna say, you want to give us a score update, RJ, while I read the next couple.
I will take a look at that.
Autumn, Hack loves Lauzon, and Borgen is right there. Yeah, I know. It's just ugh. Lauzon's number should be 59 for the number of minutes he's engaged with the game each game. I like that one, Strayatic. Surely this will lead to Lauzon out with Susie and Fleury in, right? It's time, friends. Hashtag free Willie Borgen. So from Sergeant Pickles. I don't know that it's ever going to happen. Just being honest.
All right, you up 13-7, almost halftime.
Who was up?
Washington State.
Okay. Uh, Borgen. Combo of Tanev, McCann, Gord should be the max effort line. I mean, it is. That is a crazy good unit to try to make something happen. I like that as kind of like a desperation unit almost. I'm not sure I'd want them all together the whole game though.
Yep.
With McCann, it's about drive, it's about power. He stays hungry and he devours. That's from Autumn. He does. I like that. Um, I watched obviously a lot of him in Pittsburgh, and he had it at times, but he didn't seem to have it as much as he has it here in Seattle. I think he knows this is his opportunity to get a lot of minutes, and so he's really wanting to try to make the most of it.
Which is exactly what you want to see, with an expansion team. You want those kind of guys who are excited to step up and take advantage.
Yeah, for sure. Florida did play today as well, so that should help. Yeah, I mean, it kind of takes some of that.
That back-to-back
Yeah,
disadvantage away.
some of that away, and they lost in regulation, so they're not feeling too great either. So that's not too bad.
Stay at home.
No, they were in
Okay.
DC, so at least same time zone for them.
Yeah.
And the game ended
They've still
earlier.
they still got that perfect home record. They're 11-0
They do.
season. So just for y'all to know, it's if they do win, if the Panthers win tomorrow, they will break the record for most home wins to start consecutive home wins to start a season in NHL history. So let's hope the Kraken won't give them that record.
And then to answer your question, Sergeant Pickles, about which goalie Florida used, they actually ended up using both. It looks like Bobrovsky started the game and Knight finished it. So that is something too. It means both goalie, neither goalie is going to have fresh legs. Yeah, I lost that one too.
Still hitting, guys.
Mm-hmm. Can you just give up to rest your players, like forfeit to protect your legs? No, you can't.
Nope. Closest thing you can do is just play your third and fourth line as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. Bob started, but Knight did play. Oh, thanks for answering, Aaron, before I did. Passing has to be crisper when playing elite teams like Tampa. Yeah, I mean, we said it early on, right? Everything's got to be on point if you want to beat a team like Tampa. And just, wasn't the case for the Kraken. I think after those last couple games, we can say that this isn't, the best the Kraken can be. we've seen them be better. And again, they haven't totally been awful either.
No, they haven't. I mean, this has definitely had a different feel than some of their other losses. During that losing streak, this one feels a little different.
Right. At this point, shoot the puck. Yeah, I'd like to see them in situations like these. Certainly entering this period, shoot the puck a lot more than they have been. Is Barkov still out? Dude's a killer. I don't see Barkov on the sheet tonight, playing today. So
no, because he got hurt, so I don't think he will play.
Yeah, so that is something. Yeah, I don't know that Lightning are going to press too hard here.
Yep.
Just kill off the last 10 seconds. I feel like goal leads, coaches just won't pull them unless it's a playoff game. For certainly anything over 2, it's not something you would usually see unless it is the playoffs. You're right there, Aaron. I don't understand why you wouldn't pull the goalie here. I mean, other than maybe you just don't want that 4-0 score at the end, but I don't know. I think it would be worth it. Like I said, I think the momentum swing potential of getting at least one goal is big enough that you would want that. This is the second biggest beatdown as far as talent gap goes, in my opinion. That's from Autumn. Yeah, I thought they did an okay job keeping the game close through most of it.
Mm-hmm.
What's scary, Tampa missing a lot of people on to injury too.
They're a scary good team. I mean, what more can you say? They're very good.
Joshua, hate to be that guy, but their inability to control the puck, inability to sustain pressure, inability to pass the darn puck is looking like the Colorado game all over again. I would say certainly in that third period, you were starting to see echoes of that.
Yeah, no, I think so. Sorry, just getting the game final tweet
up there. Mo Maggot, pretty quiet Yanni tonight. Yeah, he was. He had a couple things going. It was awesome when he drew that penalty, try to get some momentum going back the Kraken's way, but yeah, not quite like a huge revenge game performance there from Yanni Gourde. Stop the dump and chase and stop just sending it around the boards. Work the puck with some intention. Yeah, I mean, we've wanted to see that from them. Hard tonight, given how aggressive Tampa's D was playing. I understand why it was a little more difficult tonight than other games. Certainly the last 2 where they had been doing that a little bit more. But yes, that needs to be the thinking moving forward for sure. First time the Kraken got shut out in franchise history. It's from Lindsay.
Fortunate milestone, but yeah, it's got to happen at some point.
Yeah. Stratic, I think too much dump and chase tonight, but it's tough. Tampa was so good defending their own blue line. They really were. It was tough to enter the zone today.
And hey, if you're gonna get shut out for the first time in franchise history, like there's no better goalie to do it to you. Like it's not like you let Dustin Tokarski or some of these other goalies that played shut you out. You feel a little better about this one.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Avoiding dump and chase starts with good breakout and transition passes. Agreed, they were a little slow on those, a little too conservative, which, we were kind of getting the sense of that early on in the game that the Kraken were going to, try to play this one a little safe.
Yep.
Hopefully no 6-game losing skid after this one. Oh gosh, I sure hope not. Yeah. Grubauer. I don't either. Grubauer letting in the first shot on goal again is a bummer. It is, but it wasn't as bad as some of the other ones we've seen, and I guess I'll leave it at that. Maybe this game is different at Climate Pledge, but Tampa is so good. Yeah, I think it's possible that the crowd maybe helps them from kind of continuing that downward trajectory through the game.
Yeah, no, I think that can play a role. Get them back into it, pumped up.
Yeah. Autumn, Dylan would rather score goals. Hack is afraid to give up a goal. Enough said. A little bit of different philosophies there. Not necessarily wrong there, Autumn. I think you might be onto something. Brian, -3 for Lauzon. Why is he still in the lineup again? I don't know.
-3.
it's definitely possible.
He was. He was the only. Him and Larson were the two Kraken players who were -3.
Yeah. Um, I don't know what's worse, the horrible puck control and passing, or not seeing a smiling Yanni get in a friendly tussle for the fans. That would have been
Yeah,
fun to see.
yeah, I would have. Tampa fans would have loved that.
Yeah. Trying to stay positive, this felt a lot more like a Tampa win due to superior play rather than a Kraken loss due to dumb mistakes. Yeah, I mean, let's see. The first goal was kind of iffy either way. Obviously, the last one was really rough, and I guess the
I do agree with that assessment, though. I
yeah,
don't think they played poorly. I just Tampa was excellent. I think they beat just about any team playing that way.
yeah. How many shots did the Kraken finish with? Was that their lowest shot total for a game?
17, yeah, their lowest.
Yep. So you got that, Mo Maggot. It's crazy that the Kraken have been losing in 19 out of their 20 games. That is, yeah, it's hard to be playing from behind all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Literally only one game where they had a lead the whole time. It's definitely something you want to see change. And then
Yep.
definitely not a hack fan. Hashtag Free Will Borgen from Hunter. Yeah,
Free Will Oregon.
yeah. I mean, there's just nothing more that can be said at this point
Yep.
when it comes to that.
He is freed.
He's free. Um, yeah, obviously things are going to get a little rough now with Gio on COVID. We'll see how long he's there. That's going to influence the decision making. That being said, really happy with Hayden Fleury's performance tonight.
Agreed. That's one of the biggest bright spots of this game. Have to be happy with that.
Yeah, so I felt like he did a good job stepping up offensively and a good job uh, defensively too. He was doing an excellent job, certainly through the first two periods, keeping the net front clear, making sure nobody was screening Grubauer, and that made a big difference on a lot of those perimeter shots that Tampa was taking early on.
Yep.
Lindsay, when will you guys do another live commentary stream? We're going to figure out that looking at our schedules and stuff for December, given that it's going to be part of the Patreon stuff, but we'll make sure that you guys will have plenty of notice
Yes.
before the next one.
Should know well ahead of time.
Yeah. Hack wanted a chess match, and Tampa was happy to oblige, so it was going to be low scoring, just couldn't crack their defensive shell. Yeah. It's a shame they weren't able to get one. So that my 3-1 score prediction would come true. I did have that feeling for a low scoring game. Just gonna say it. Don't know why. Just felt it.
You're right. You're right. I was wrong.
Yeah. It's not about you being wrong. It's about me being right. Okay.
Okay.
He should get a shot if another injury happens on D. Presumably talking about Borgen there from Hunter. I agree.
I mean, he's the guy. Yeah.
Panthers tomorrow. This is going to suck. That's from Brian. I don't know.
They like, yeah, they played all right. They didn't play terribly tonight. And Panthers are a good team, but they're not back-to-back Stanley Cup champions.
Mm-hmm. Autumn hashtag ECH free Will Borgen. I like that one.
Yep. Once he's free, we can tweet that one.
Yeah, that'll be a big day for us, I'm sure. And then Grizza Smash. I feel a little more salty than I should. My two other teams took a heavy L today as well. Gru still looking good though. Yeah, Gru had a pretty good game, all things considered.
Yeah. Aside from that first one, he was solid.
Yeah, they were rough ones. All right, so the only thing I'm considering is maybe stopping this stream and then starting a separate one for the post game, just so that those are separate. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, everybody. We'll be right back with the other one once I just change like the title and stuff in YouTube, and then we'll get the post-game show going. So if you have any questions, save them, and we'll be right back.